$2 from the stake.
I can feel that dollar in my hands right now.
Game ain't over yet, Esky.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of feel good enough about it to raise that bet, say, to $5. How does that hit you?
Go ahead. Take it.
All right. $5, yes.
That's it.
Clear up. Clear up. Hell, Esky, it's gonna take a ringer to beat me. You don't want to make that 5-10, do you?
Come on.
You got yourself a bet. Now, just kind of stand back, and I'm going to show you what a $10 horseshoe looks like when it's being thrown.
Hang in there, Mesky.
Come on.
Hang in there, Mesky. Hang in there, Mesky.
All right, quiet now, boys. Keep it down. Don't make me nervous. Keep it down, boys.
My true love is a blue-eyed daisy. Oh, ding-dong, doodle-lady day. If she don't marry me, I'll go crazy. Oh, ding-dong, doodle-lady day. Back my jet.
Who is that?
Oh, ding-dong, doodle-lady day. So many pretty girls, I can't count them. Oh, ding-dong, doodle-lady day. Oh,
Got some voice, a lady.
He's got a voice. Well, I'm going to take that voice and I'm going to cram it right down his dirty throat.
Esky, wait a minute.
My true love is a sunburnt daisy. Ho-de-ding-dong, doodle-lady-day. She won't work and I'm too lazy. Ho-de-ding-dong, doodle-lady-day. Ho-de-ding-dong, 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 doodle-lady-day.
Now let's go.
Well, howdy. Beautiful day, ain't it?
Don't you give me none of that beautiful day stuff. Your caterwauling cost me $10.
Well, I'm right sorry about that, friend, but I'd take it kindly if you get your hands off my coat.
Yeah, I'll take my hands off your coat after I take $10 worth out of your hide. Let me at! Calm down. Take your hands off me! Now what's going on? I declare it's enough to drive a man out of his mind. I spend 50% of my time chasing illegal whiskey makers and 50% of my time arresting them that drinks it.
Roy, we ain't had a drop.
I don't care whether you had a drop or whether you didn't. You're still acting like you did. Now I got a place to cool you off. You come on down to that jail.
But, Roy.
Come on.
Now, Dad burn it, Roy, I know it probably didn't look it, but the fact is that we wasn't really fighting out there.
Horse. Now, entertaining as they usually are, I just don't have no time for a horse Cartwright explanation.
Horse Cartwright? Would it be Ben Cartwright's son?
Yeah.
Well, second cousin Hoss. Shake hands with your second cousin Muley.
Cousin Muley?
Muley Jones. come all the way from Wheatville, Missouri, just to see you.
Hey, look. Now, wait a minute, you boy. You hear that? This feller claims he's second cousin of mine.
Look, Hoss, I don't care if this is your favorite Aunt Bertha. There's a $10 fine for each one of you boys for street fighting, and you're either going to pay it or I'm going to lock you up in that pokey one. Now, which is it going to be?
Well, looks like this little family reunion just cost me $30.
Well, second cousin Hoss, I sure appreciate you paying the fine for me, and I intend to pay you back just as quick as I find myself a job.
I'll pay you back tomorrow, Hoss.
Don't worry about it, fellas. I'm just lucky to have it. Fact is, I'd have probably lost it to old Esky in that dadburn horseshoe game anyhow. Oh, Paul!
They said I'd find you here.
I want to introduce you.
And they also said that you and Brave Pony have been brawling in the streets.
It's all right, man. Now, Hoss has paid their fines, and they're free to go, and it's a good thing, because I've just been busier than a bird dog hunting that illegal whiskey maker. Why, that number, he keeps bouncing that moonshining equipment of his around this territory worse than a kangaroo. Now, boys, I'll leave it with you.
Now, Chief Whitebeard and I do everything in our power to make a good impression, and what happens? The very day the new Indian agent arrives in town from Washington, my son and the chief's son are caught fighting in public.
Hoss was not to blame, Mr.
I don't care who's to blame. Suppose he'd seen you two fighting in public. You know how much depends on this report he's going to be turning in. Now, the only reason your father and I have been successful in fighting this plan to relocate your people is because the Indian affairs in this area have been so good.
Well, it's actually all my fault,
I
Cousin
don't
Ben.
care whose fault it was. The only thing that matters to me is, what did you call me?
Oh, Cousin Ben. I'm your Cousin Muley from Wheatville, Missouri.
Cousin Muley? I don't know Cousin Muley. He just got here this morning, Paul.
I got a letter of introduction.
Ben Cartwright, this is to introduce Muley Jones, who is the son of Rebecca Jones from the Larson side of the family. He's working his way to California. Any help you can give him will be appreciated. Signed, Ole Jensen.
Now, Paul, I've heard you mention that name before.
You sure have, Ole Jensen. By God, you remember me telling you he could pick me up by the seat of my pants with one hand?
Yeah.
Still alive. How old is he? Must be about 80 years old now.
81 come next October, and he can still do an honest day's work in the field.
Well, I'm sure happy to hear that he's in such good health. Here, Ole Johnson. You're Rebecca Jones's boy. Well, I'm sure happy to meet you, Cousin Muley. Now, you're going to stay at the Ponderosa with us.
Well, thank you kindly, Cousin Ben. And I'm sure looking forward to meeting up with second cousin Adam and second cousin Joe.
Well, you're sure going to meet him as soon as he gets back from delivering that herd of beef out at Camp Meade.
Oh, Cousin Ben, I'm sure plumb sorry for causing all that ruckus around here this morning.
Oh, I guess it wouldn't have made too much difference to me if it hadn't been for the fact we've been having a little bit of trouble with the Department of Indian Affairs. And what with this new agent, this Mr. Thornbridge coming out, I just didn't want anything to happen to sort of upset the apple cart, so to speak.
Paul, what sort of fellow is this new agent, anyhow?
Well, I don't know. I'm just going over to the hotel to meet him. Now, look, I'm fixing to take Mr. Thornbridge out to the Ponderosa. We have some supper tonight. See? I want you to be in your best behavior.
Oh, yes, sir.
And, Ray Pony, I've invited your father to come out so they could meet, and I thought it'd be good for them to get to know each other. Now, you come out with them.
Yes.
Now, why don't you show Muley around town?
Sure.
And then meet me at the hotel in about 30, 40 minutes.
Fine, Paul.
Good. Cousin Muley.
Well, Muley, what'd you like to do first?
Well, since I had that long, hot ride into town this morning, a nice, tall glass of beer would taste mighty appealing right now.
Yeah, it's fine, Muley, but see...
Don't let me hold you back, Hoss. I don't drink anyway. You two go on.
Well, look, I'll see you at supper tonight.
Sure. See you then.
Oh, I hope I didn't hurt his feelings, second cousin Hoss. I forgot that Indians just ain't allowed to drink.
No, it's all right. He's a good friend of mine. He understands. Look, let's me and you go get that beer. It ain't every day a man runs into a second cousin. Samuel. A couple of beers, please, sir.
Oh, now that's...
Esky, wait a minute.
I
Esky,
like
now,
that
calm
coffee,
down,
buddy.
calm
I
down.
like to-
Calm down. That burn it. Now, I want you to meet my cousin. This here's Muley Jones.
Your cousin?
Yep.
Yeah, I figured whoever he was, you must have put him up to making me lose that game.
I didn't put him up to nothing. Now, I want you to shake hands. If you will, I'll forget that $10 you owe me. Now, come on.
Shake hands with that
Shake
guy.
hands? Come on here now. Shake hands. Shake. There.
You know, Hoss, I ought to make you give me that $10. I'd have won that game, sure.
Yeah, I gave your $10 to Roy Coffey. By the way, where was you when he arrested us?
Yeah, well, I was around there somewhere.
Sure you was.
Gosh, Cousin Hoss, that's $40 I've cost you already, and I ain't even been in town an hour.
Oh, forget it, Cousin Muley. It wasn't your fault, no how. You gotta admit, Esky, it was pretty funny when that horseshoe went flying out over everybody's head. You should have seen the expression on old Esky's face.
Well, the one he was wearing when I did see him wasn't so funny.
Oh, I'd like to walk you one.
Esky don't appreciate a good singing voice when he hears it.
And that's a gospel truth, cousin. I tell you, you got about the finest singing voice I ever heard.
Well, gosh, thanks, Cousin Hoss. You know, there just ain't no joy in the world that compares to singing for me. There's just something about standing under a big blue sky filled with God's sunshine and gathering up a chest full of fresh, clean air and just letting go.
Well, thunderation, man. Let go of one right now.
Oh, no, Cousin Hoss. Well, you see, that's part of the reason I had to leave Missouri. Well, the folks back there, they just didn't seem to appreciate my singing.
Well, that just goes to show you how much they know about singing in Missouri. You're in Nevada now, so just cut loose with one.
Just let out.
Well, all right.
Beautiful dreamer, out on the sea, mermaids are chanting the wild Lorelei. Over the streamlet, vapors are born, waiting to fade at the bright coming morn. Beautiful dreamer, beam on my heart, even as the morn on the streamlet and the sea. Then will all clouds of sorrow depart. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me. Beautiful dreamer, wake unto me. Starlight and dewdrops are waiting for thee. Sounds of the rude world heard in the day, lulled by the moonlight, have all passed away. Beautiful dreamer, queen of my song, lift while I woo thee.
What happened? What happened? It's Hoss and that cousin of his. They're wrecking my place. Somebody get Sheriff Coffey. Sheriff Coffey!
Of life's busy throng, beautiful dreamer, awake unto me. Beautiful dreamer, awake.
Shut him up, Hoss. Turn him around. Turn him around.
unto me.
I tried to stop you before you wrecked the whole dang saloon.
Oh, no. I did it again.
Muley, is this the reason they didn't like your voice in Missouri?
Uh-huh.
Mr. Thornbridge, it surely is a personal privilege for me to welcome you here to Virginia City.
Well, thank you, Mr. Cartwright, and I hope my visit is as pleasant as your greeting.
Well, I'm sure it will be. I know that when you meet Chief White Bear and his people,
Excuse me, sir. There seems to be some kind of a disturbance over there.
Sheriff Coffee! Sheriff!
Hey, Roy, what's happening?
Somebody's busting up the saloon.
Oh, Mr. Thornbridge, this is highly unusual here for Virginia City. We never had
Well, I
anything...
wonder what causes it. Let's go take a look.
Break it up here, I said!
Did I say break it up? Oh. It's you three again, huh? Come on! Come on!
Roy.
Go on, you know the way. Roy, there you go on, right down there. Come on.
Mr. Cartwright, that young man is an Indian.
Yeah, sure is.
What is he doing in a saloon?
Well, I don't know. It's most unusual, Mr. Thornbridge. Brave Pony's a fine, upstanding young man. He's...
Brave Pony, the chief's son. Oh, this is going to look terrible in my report.
One mirror, $50. Two windows, $20. Glassware, $70. Liquor stock, $200. Miscellaneous breakage, $50. Public disorder fine, $10 apiece, for a grand total of $420. And what kind of an explanation do I get? That Cousin Muley sang the place into a shambles.
Paul, he'll hear you.
And don't think for 1 minute that I'm going to accept this cock and bull story. Do you hear me?
I hear you, Paul. Honest Pete, I do.
Must be the guests arriving. I'll get it. Chief White Bear, welcome once again to my home.
M. Cartwright, I am honored to be your guest, my dear old friend.
Thank you. Thank you. Brave Pony, good evening. Mr. Cartwright. Won't you please come in and sit with us?
Ho.
Chief White Bear.
Please sit down. Ollie. I'm sorry Mr. Thornbridge isn't here yet, but he should be along shortly.
I'm dreaming now of Hallie, sweet Hallie, sweet Hallie. I'm dreaming now of Hallie, and the thought of her is one that never dies. She's sleeping in the valley.
I'm terribly ashamed of what my son, Brave Pony, told me about today.
Oh, don't worry about that. It wasn't Brave Pony's fault.
She lies. Oh, listen to the mockingbird. Oh, listen to the mockingbird.
Would you care for some coffee?
Oh, the mockingbird still.
I said, would you care for a cup of coffee?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Oh, listen to the mockingbird. Oh, listen to the mockingbird. The mockingbird who is singing o'er her grave. And the mockingbird is singing where she lies. Oh, listen to the mockingbird.
Did you see anything out there, White Bear?
No, but my braves out there will protect us.
Mockingbird.
Paul, there ain't nobody out there.
Oh, the mockingbird. mockingbird still singing o'er grave.
Don't you hear Muley singing? Of course I hear Muley singing. You think I'm deaf or something? You mean that? Well, why didn't you tell me about this?
Paul, I was trying to. There is somebody there. My braves have got him pinned down.
The mockingbird was singing o'er grave.
Mr. Cartwright, these savages have tried to kill me. I want to know the meaning of this outrage.
Oh, Chief White Bear, this is terrible. Aldrich, you must reconsider. You must stay for dinner. You must give us a chance to explain things.
Mr. Cartwright, I am in no mood for either dinner or explanations. Your cousin Muley, indeed.
Mr. Thornbridge, your report is going to affect the lives of over 200 people. Now, before you jump to any hasty conclusions, there are many facts of which you must be made aware concerning the Indian situation here.
That is precisely why I made this investigation trip, to gain first-hand knowledge and experience of the situation. And I certainly have done that today.
Mr. Thornbridge.
Mr. Cartwright, my report will be based on what I see and what I hear myself, not on any amount of talk or persuasion from you or from anyone else. Now, if you don't mind, I would like to leave.
Mr. Thornbridge, you must do me one favor. Please. Now, tomorrow when you've had a chance to have a little rest and things have calmed down, could we have another talk?
Very well, if you wish. But I warn you right now, any further talk is useless. Now, goodbye.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thornbridge. Thank you.
Get out, boy.
I'm sorry, White Bear.
You will talk again tomorrow.
Well, Cousin Hoss, what are we going to do today? Any chores I can help you with?
Oh, no chores, cousin. Not for me and you. Not today, no, sir. I've got a little surprise for you.
A surprise?
You bet.
Well.
You see, Paul went into town early this morning to talk to Mr. Thornbridge, an Indian agent.
Yeah.
He left here the other day and was all fired angry that he wouldn't even talk to nobody. And, well, Paul went in early this morning to explain to him.
What, you mean explain how it was all my fault?
Oh, no, cousin. You see, Paul just wanted Mr. Thornbridge to know that, well, that it wasn't all the Indians' fault. Now, of course, he didn't fault you none, neither. No, we know it ain't your fault. You was born with that voice. Of course, you ought to learn to be a little more careful with it around humans.
Yeah. I sure appreciate you and your pa being so understanding.
Yeah, well, we are, especially Paul. As a matter of fact, he left you a little gift. Yeah.
A gift?
Yep.
Well, but it ain't my birthday or nothing.
Go ahead, old man.
I don't understand.
Well, me and Paul was thinking about that letter that you brung with you from Ole Jansen wanting us to help you get on to California. And we asked ourselves, now, how could we best help our cousin Muley get to California? And all of a sudden, the answer come to us that simple. Money. Now, there's enough right there for your stagecoach fare and to put you up in a hotel until you can get a job. Now, we want you to have it.
Well, I don't know how to thank you, Cousin Hoss. But I can't take your money. Well, I owe you already for a lot of damage I've done. Well, I better get my things together and get going.
Wait a minute. Where are you going?
Oh, San Francisco. Thank you, Cousin Hoss. More than I can say.
like I said, Esky, this is the last of this here moonshining that I'm gonna do.
Oh, now, come on, Yuri. You ain't gonna let Sheriff Coffee scare you out like this. This is Indian land. He wouldn't look here.
Well, I've got a family to think about, Esky.
Sheriff Coffee couldn't find this little old still if it took him 100 years.
That's easy for you to say. But it's been me that totes this still around these hills to keep ahead of him.
Now, that's the deal we made, wasn't it, Yuri? You make the whiskey and I sell it.
I say, let's get out while the getting is good.
I wasn't going to tell you this, Yuri, until I actually got the money, but I made a deal. With Sam, the bartender, he's going to buy every drop of whiskey that we make at double the price.
Double.
On account of Hoss, Cartwright, and his cousin Muley busting up all his...
Like fun, you's gonna tell. You's gonna sell these jugs at double and pay me the regular. I know you, Esky.
What? I swear, Yuri, I don't know how you can look so clean and think so dirty. All right, so you know. Now, I gotta make this delivery. You get back there and get busy and make some more whiskey.
No, I'm through. Right now. Double price or not.
Now, hold on.
This business is getting too risky.
Well, that is the last time I team up with a yellow belly.
Yellow belly.
Now, hold on. Now, what are you doing there? Wait a minute. What are you doing?
Ain't you forgot something, Esky?
Well, forgot? Well, what are you talking about?
Well, you haven't paid me for this last batch.
I ain't? Well, I thought sure I did, Yuri. Oh, God. Now, of course, you know, boy, I'm a little hard-pressed for cash now.
I've heard this all before, Esky, and my heart still ain't breaking. Let's just unload this wagon of
wait
whiskey
a minute.
until you get some hard cash.
I swear, you are the most nervous man I ever saw. Now, didn't I tell you about the deal with Sam? What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
No.
Hold on. Boss, sometimes, you know, you make me so mad I could just spit. All right, here. Here, there's enough here for 18 jugs, all right? What are you doing now? Wait a minute. What are you doing?
You paid for 18, and you got 18.
Now, naturally, boy, you're gonna trust me for the rest, ain't you?
Naturally.
Well, of all the underhanded, selfish, conniving, thieving, crooked, backbiting friends I ever had, I never saw anything like it.
You better shut that loud mouth of yours before you bring Sheriff Coffee down on us.
Well, the next time I do business is gonna be with an honest man. Yellow Belly! Get here!
What? Loud mouth!
How much farther is it to their camp?
Oh, about a mile or so.
Good.
Oh, Mr. Thornbridge, where you heading?
Well, Mr. Thornbridge has kindly agreed to have a friendly talk with the chief before he forms a final opinion, now that he knows why things happened the way they did.
Well, good. I'm sure glad to hear that, Mr. Thornbridge.
I try to be fair in all my decisions.
Hoss, things go the way we planned?
Well, not exactly, Paul. You see, well, Cousin Muley here decided not to take your gift after all.
Not that I don't appreciate it, Cousin Ben.
Oh, Muley, you mean you're not going to go to San Francisco?
Paul, he's going, but...
Mr. Cartwright, I would like to proceed to that meeting, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah, well, of course, Mr. Thornbridge.
Everything's under control, Paul.
Well, good. I sure hope so. Muley, I hope you have a very pleasant journey to San Francisco.
Bye. Bye. Thanks again there, Cousin Ben. Cousin Hoss, you have the nicest family I ever see.
Well, from now on, Muley, you're a part of it, and don't you forget it.
Oh, golly. You know, I feel so good right now. Do you know what I'm gonna do?
Muley, wait a minute. Well, I reckon out here in the wide open spaces couldn't hurt nothing. Go ahead and cut loose.
Believe me, if all those endearing young charms which I gaze on so fondly today were to change by tomorrow and flee from my arms like fairy gifts fading away, thou wouldst still be adored as
Why, there's more loud mouths around here.
that thy loveliness fade as it will, and around the dear ruin.
Where's that voice coming from?
Chief White Bear, brave pony. This is, what is this?
Why, this looks like it. Smells like? Good heavens. It's a whiskey still on Indian land.
A brave pony.
Believe me, Mr. Cartwright, this is not ours. We found it.
This is your land, isn't it?
Yes, but
I've never seen such fragrant proof that our Red brothers need the protection of a reservation. Mr. Cartwright, please take me back to town.
Mr. Thornbridge.
please, Mr. Cartwright, you know that we would not have a whiskey still on our land.
Well, I know that, but he won't believe it.
Someone else was running the still. But even we wouldn't have discovered it if the big noise hadn't broken it.
The big noise? Muley Jones?
I'm warning you. You open your mouth just once, and I'm calling the sheriff.
Now, calm down, Sam. Like I told you, Cousin Muley's on his way out of town right now. We're just passing a few minutes waiting for the stage.
Then pass it with his mouth closed. Look at that, fruit jars, and I'm lucky to get those. Every housewife in town made me pay a fortune for them.
Give me a whiskey.
Give me a whiskey. Very funny.
What's so funny about it? I just got to town and I'm thirsty.
Look, stranger, the only thing I got to drink is beer. And I only got that because it comes in wooden kegs.
I don't like beer, only whiskey.
Then you better come on back later. I'm expecting a shipment any time now.
For whiskey, I'll wait.
Any time now. Already a shipment from San Francisco so soon?
Never mind where I'm getting it from. You just see to it that your pa makes good for the damages in here so as I can pay for it.
Hey, Cousin Hoss, there goes your pa now. Hey, what's he doing going up to the jail?
I don't know, but let's go up there and find out. Sam, we'll be back and finish those beers in a minute.
Right on Indian land, the smell of whiskey was overpowering. It's the most disgraceful thing I've ever seen.
Well, now, how about that? Here I've been wearing myself thin just to chasing that whiskey still all over this territory. It never did occur to me to look on Indian land knowing Chief White Bear like I did.
Oh, that's just the point, Roy. You and I know that Chief White Bear's people wouldn't do anything so foolish as make whiskey.
Mr. Cartwright, I know what I saw.
Hey, Paul, what's going on?
Now, Sheriff, your evidence is out there. You can go and see for yourself. As for me, my report is final. The Indians will be moved back to the reservation at the earliest opportunity. And I'm getting the first stage out of here. Goodbye, gentlemen.
The reservation?
Ben, I'm going to get a deputy and send him right out there now.
What happened, Paul?
We found a whiskey still right near the Indian reservation. Right after we left you two on the road. Your second cousin, Muley's voice, sure smashed a whole bunch of whiskey bottles all around that still.
Oh, Lordy. Not again.
Yep, again.
Paul, you know them Indians wouldn't have a still right there on the reservation.
Of course, I know that, and you know that, but Mr. Thornbridge, he don't know that. And they was making whiskey, I'll tell you that. Next stage leaves in about half an hour, and we aren't going to find the culprit in that length of time.
Cousin Ben, this is all my fault. And I'm going to find that culprit if it's the last thing I ever do.
Cousin Muley, the last thing that you could ever do for me that would be real pleasing would be to get on that stage the way you planned. I'm going over to the hotel, and I'm going to see if I can talk Mr. Thornbridge into listening to one last appeal.
Cousin Hoss, I'm sorry.
Oh, I know you are, Muley. That ain't gonna help Brave upon his tribe none, though. Look, why don't we go and finish that beer we started a while ago? Maybe we'll think of something, huh? Come on.
Yeah.
Hi, boys.
Hey, Cousin Hoss. Does anything strike you peculiar about that fella?
Esky? Everything about Esky strikes me as peculiar. Come on.
There you go, stranger. Some of the finest you'll ever taste.
I'm sure glad you're back in business.
Yeah. Glad to see you back in business, too, Sam. Where'd you get that?
Shipment to come in from Carson City.
Carson City, my. There ain't been no shipments in from Carson City on wheels in 2 weeks now. Where'd you get that?
Now, Hoss, you ain't got no call to stick your nose in my business.
Well, I'm sticking it in. Now, where'd you get that booze?
I just sell the liquor. Ain't no concern of mine who makes it.
If it come out of that still on that Indian property, it does. Now, you tell me where you got that booze, Sam.
You can't force nothing out of me. There ain't no law says I gotta tell anybody where I get my whiskey. Now, you ought to know that, Hoss.
That burn you, Sam. Muley, thanks to Sam, we got some thinking to do.
Cousin Hoss, it better be fast thinking. That stage is due to take Mr. Thornbridge out of here in just about 10 minutes.
I know it. Come on, Billy. Hi, Esty.
Fine, fine.
Here's he's wearing a mighty heavy coat for this sort of weather, don't it?
Well, didn't you say he was kind of a peculiar fella, Cousin Hoss?
Yeah, but that's mighty peculiar, even for Esky.
There we go.
Thanks, Esky. But that's all you can bring in right now.
What are you talking about? I got another load.
I'll show you what I'm talking about. Come here. Look.
Horse caught riding his loudmouth cousin. Well, what's so important about that?
You try to make one more delivery, and he's gonna find out who made it.
Now, Sam, nobody ain't gonna find out nothing. I only got one more load. Now, nobody ain't gonna figure out how it got delivered. But I'll tell you what, Sam, you're a nice fella. If it's gonna make you feel any better, I'll bring it in the back way this time, huh?
No, Esky, no! Come back here! I don't want Esky! Esky, come here! Esky!
I'm gonna go on over to the hotel and try to keep Thornbridge from catching that stage. In the meantime, you get back over at the saloon and keep an eye on Esky and Sam, you hear?
Right, Cousin Hoss.
Mr. Thornbridge, I guarantee you, if you
Mr.
just give us a
Cartwright,
little...
I have heard all the arguments in behalf of the Indians that I care to. Now, I respect your faith in White Bear and his people, but concrete evidence has given me the only conclusion that I can accept. Goodbye.
Mr. Thornbridge, one more day's delay doesn't mean anything to you, but it could mean the peace and happiness of an entire Indian tribe.
Mr. Cartwright, please, nothing would make me happier than to discover that these people deserve to remain here. But ever since I arrived, they've been involved in one incident after another. Now, are you sure that one more day in this town won't bring forth still another incident which will put our poor red brothers in an even more unfavorable light?
Stop! Hold it! Beautiful dreamer, come here to me. Your booze I'm breaking with loud melody. You'll be in jail before...
Wait just a minute, Mr. Thornbridge. You got to hear this. This is for your benefit.
For mine?
Yeah. Come on.
Hooch all over this town. You bootlegging dreamer. Now come on along.
What's going on, fellas?
Yeah, what's going on, fellas? What do you got in here anyway?
Well, how did those get in there?
Well, Mr. Thornbridge, there's your proof.
Proof? Well, that just shows the man was carrying whiskey. What does that got to do with Indians?
All right, now, come on, you tell him, Esky. You tell him, or so help me.
That's right, Ben. Now, look, mister. You've caused enough trouble in this town already. And if you don't tell us where you got that whiskey, I'm gonna find ways to keep you locked up in that jail for the next 10 years.
All right, but it ain't my fault. It's all that Uri's doing. Him and his still on that Indian land, saying we was gonna make us a fortune.
Well, Mr. Thornbridge?
Well, Mr. Cartwright.
Come on.
I assure you my report will be most eloquent on behalf of Chief White Bear and his people. Thanks to Mr. Cartwright.
Oh, thanks to Cousin Muley here.
A most remarkable voice. And I promise you to introduce him to people in San Francisco who might help him train it.
Well,
Well, sure appreciate
thanks.
that.
Cousin Muley, we're sure gonna miss you.
Oh, thank you, Second Cousin Hoss. I'm gonna miss you all. And Cousin Ben?
You're sure welcome here any time at all, Cousin Muley.
Well, thank you kindly, Cousin Ben. If I ever get my voice trained, I just might take you up on that.
Well, you sure should.
And I want you to know, I intend to pay you back every cent for everything I broke.
Oh, that ain't necessary.
I'm gonna send you $2 every month till it's all paid for.
Well, if you feel like it, sure.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Cousin Muley.
Have a good trip.
Take it easy, Muley.
Will you come with me, my Phyllis dear, to yon blue mountain free, where the blossoms smell the sweetest? Come rove along with me. It's every Sunday morning when I'm by your side. We'll jump into the wagon and all take a ride. Whoa! Wait for the wagon. Wait for the wagon. Wait for the wagon, and we'll all take a ride. Oh! the wagon. Wait for the wagon. Wait for the wagon, and we'll all take a ride.
You know, Paul, the way I got it figured, that at $2 a month, he ought to be breaking even in about 150 years.
If he gets out of town quick enough. I tell you, nothing like a good home-cooked meal. That chuck wagon chow at a roundup isn't too bad for the first couple of days, but
You know, Pa, the way I figured, if we could just buy up about 500 or 600 more acres, we might just about be able to break even.
House's appetite's an old joke around here, Will.
It sure is. Fact is that my little brother down there is just jealous of my gastronomic appreciation.
All right, boys, we got a lot of work yet to do, so let's get back to it. Are the horses ready?
Saddle them all myself, Paul.
Oh, that's why you ate so much.
Will, today we're going to show you a section of the Ponderosa that you haven't seen yet. There's some pretty exciting plans for it, too. I want you to tell me what you think about them.
You mind if I stay home, Ben?
So, aren't you feeling well?
I guess I'm just a little tired after the roundup.
I keep forgetting you're not used to the ranch work. Sure, you stay home. That'll give you a little extra time to, think about our conversation.
I have thought about it.
I know that you've been wandering around a lot since your father died. Wandering has its exciting aspects, I know that. But, well, the Ponderosa can be a pretty exciting place, too, if you let it.
It isn't always easy for a man to change his ways, Ben.
No, you're right. Sure. Well, you take your time and think about that conversation.
I promise you that.
We'll probably be back after dark.
Maybe I'll find an answer by then.
Will isn't coming.
What's bothering him anyhow, Paul?
It's a difficult adjustment for him to make. Don't forget, he's been on his own ever since my brother died.
He's still a Cartwright. Why doesn't he just relax?
Anything we can do about it?
Yeah. Go about our own business and leave him to his.
Oh, Cochise.
What's the matter?
He's got a loose shoe, Pa, I think. He's been favoring his front left. Yeah, it's loose all right, Pa. I better go back to the house and fix it. Why don't you ride on ahead? I'll catch up.
Oh, boss.
Yeah.
What are you doing back so soon?
Told my pa I had a loose shoe on the horse. I really wanted to come back and talk to you.
What about?
I don't know. I was just wondering if there was anything about any one of us that was bothering you. Look, Will, I can't understand why it's taking you so long to make up your mind whether you want to stay on here.
Joe? Will you stop pushing? Joe, it's not you. It's not any of you. It's me. I don't know that I'm cut out for the kind of life you lead here on the Ponderosa.
What do you mean, the kind of life that we lead here? Now, what's so different about it here?
Look, Joe, having the Cartwright name doesn't make me the kind of Cartwright you are. I've wandered all over the world, and I've done a little bit of everything a man can do. And trying to settle down in one place, nice as it is, might just not be possible for me anymore.
Look, I don't care what kind of troubles you've had in the past. And whether you're going to have more troubles in the future, that doesn't make any difference either. No matter what it is, your troubles are our troubles. Will, we're family here. That's what I want you to understand. Look, I'll level with you. It means an awful lot to my pa whether you stay here or not. That's why I want you to make up your mind. The longer you wait, the more it's going to hurt him. All right, I'll stop pushing you. You think about it. I better get going. I can't fool him about that horse too long.
Joe, you've just helped me make up my mind.
See you tonight.
I'm Lieutenant Bancroft from Fort Wheeler. Where's Ben Cartwright?
He's not here. Can I help you, Lieutenant?
Who are you?
Will Cartwright.
Never heard of any Will Cartwright.
Well, I never heard of a Lieutenant Bancroft. You want to wait inside or out?
This matter we have on hand won't wait.
Door's open. Make up your mind. I'm leaving anyway.
Cartwright, walk those horses dry. Wagner, bring them in. Put them over there. He needs a doctor. If I didn't have to get him back to the fort alive, I'd just as soon settle for an undertaker.
Who is he?
Name's Lee Hewitt. Wanted in 4 states. Caught him and his gang trying to ambush the Army pay wagon south of Carson Sink.
Too bad you didn't get the others, Lieutenant. That means you're a dead man.
Looks kind of young to be such a prize, Lieutenant.
Young, mean, and clever. No matter what he looks like.
Well, he's your problem, Lieutenant. Stay as long as you need. I'm sure my uncle won't mind.
You seem pretty anxious to ride away from here. Where are you going? I want an answer.
Look, my eager young friend. Now, you've only got my word for it that I'm a Cartwright. And all that tells me that you're a cavalry officer is that uniform.
Go on.
Ben's my uncle. And I got 3 cousins. Their names are Adam, Huss, and Little Joe.
We'll call it a draw. On your way, stop by in town and send back a doctor. I'll appreciate it.
Well, since you put it that way, I guess I can find the time.
Now, where can I clean up?
You'll find everything you need upstairs. Here.
Thanks. You got a drink?
It'll make that wound bleed more.
I got plenty left.
Okay.
It's a nice ranch. Must feel good to be part of something like this.
I'm not part of it.
I thought I heard you say your name was Cartwright. This is a Cartwright spread, ain't it?
So what?
So nothing. Except I just always wanted something like this all my life. Hey, maybe I could take your place, huh? I mean, maybe I could talk a deal with that lieutenant, huh? Good joke.
You tell me another one like that, and I'll let you bleed to death.
You know, you and me, we ought to have a talk.
Can't do much talking on the end of a rope, lad.
You know, you're all right. You got the look of an outsider. And I know just how that feels.
I've heard Ben talk about you several times, young fella. Mighty glad to meet you at last.
Thank you, Doc.
Ben says you might be staying with us permanently. Haven't seen him so happy about anything in a long while. Maybe when we meet next time, we can have a nice, friendly chat.
If I was staying.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, young fella. Bet Ben was, too, huh?
He doesn't know about it yet.
Didn't mean to pry. Just interested, that's all.
Wagner, you're gonna do that, do it outside. Outside, both of you, and stand watch.
Ow! Are you trying to kill me, Doc?
You're making a lot of fuss, young fella. It ain't in that bad. Or that deep. Here. Bite on this.
I don't need that.
Bite!
You gonna tell me how lucky I am?
No.
Thanks.
Doc, if you're still here when my uncle gets back, tell him I made up my mind. He'll understand.
What about those two troopers?
They were too busy eating fried chicken to keep a sharp lookout.
And made it nice and easy for Charlie and me.
Lee, why? Why?
It took you long enough to get here.
Yeah, I know. I lost your trail a couple of times. She tried to make another break for it. When are we going to get rid of her? She's nothing but trouble.
I'll decide what to do with my own wife. Oh, yeah, Mr. Cartwright. This is my wife, Emma. All even, little boy blue. You know, you two done me a big favor. And I'd sure like to pay you back. Now, I don't mind leaving pieces of evidence around. I don't like to leave witnesses. Now, why'd you do that?
Haven't you done enough? Won't you ever be satisfied?
No, I won't. Now, you just keep your mouth shut.
Hey, look, Lee, there's a safe over here.
Hey, wait a minute. When that lieutenant came in, he asked for Ben Cartwright. Now, if he's top man around here, he'd have a combination. So all we have to just do is sit here and wait for him. Yeah, and won't he be surprised to have an ambush at his own ranch house? Let you take Charlie and get little boy Blue over there and get rid of him and them troopers outside and hide the horses.
There'll be 4 Cartwrights coming back.
4?
That's right. Ben and his 3 sons. Now, there could be some gunplay. I don't think you're in any shape for it.
What's that to you?
When Ben and his boys come back, they're not going to be eating fried chicken, amigo.
Well, I can handle them, amigo.
You sure of that?
Are you trying to make a deal?
You know, somewhere along the line, I knew you'd get that idea. All right. I'll get you the money out of the safe. That's nothing. What's really important is that you don't know this country. And after what you just did, there's going to be a lot of people chasing you that do. Now, I'll lead you out of here. And I know a lot of places to hide along the way while we're doing it. That sounds like a fair deal. Your life for mine.
You could lead us right into a posse, too, couldn't you?
And run the risk of getting killed in the middle of a gunfight? I'm not that stupid. How about it?
I don't know.
All right. Stay here. Fight it out with the Cartwrights for a few measly hundred I can hand you.
What about him?
Well, you'll need him to watch that wound for a few days. After that, you won't need him anymore.
You know something? I think that you and I could get along real well together.
Why not?
You and me, we're the same. Both of us outsiders. Am I wrong about that?
No, you're not wrong about that. I'd rather ride alone than be tied to a spread, no matter how good it looks from the inside. And this one looks pretty good.
You know something, mister? You make a lot of sense. Maybe you can be some help after all, even though your name is Cartwright.
No, it isn't. Now it's just thieving traitor.
You just be glad you're living.
You might come in pretty handy. Okay, we'll do it your way. First, let me have your gun belt. And you just remember, there's going to be 4 guns watching you, because we don't know yet just how much of an outsider you are. Get out the safe.
You really think he can help us?
Uh-huh. Unless he's thinking of tricking us.
Well, we can always kill him if he tries something like that, can't we?
Well, we're going to do that anyway. Yes, sir, we're going to do that anyway.
No light, Bo.
I'll go light a lamp.
Looks like Will went to bed early.
Well, he said he was pretty tired from the roundup. Why don't you put the horses up?
Yeah.
You tired, too? I'm ready for bed.
Will's saddlebags are gone. He always leaves them here.
Probably put in his room.
Have a look. Will's not in his bed.
Probably went for a ride, maybe went to town.
I don't think so. Look, Pa, I lied to you today when I told you there was something wrong with my horse. I just used that as an excuse to come back and talk to Will.
Oh?
Look, I know how much it meant to you to have Will stay here with us. I know how happy you would have been if Will would have come with us today. I just wanted Will to know how we felt, that we felt the same way, that we wanted him to be part of the family.
And?
Well, he said he didn't know one way or the other. I said, well, make up your mind. Make up your mind whether you're going to go or whether you're going to stay. I didn't want him to wait and then hurt you later on.
Go on.
When I left, he told me I'd helped him to make up his mind. I guess I helped him in the wrong way.
I just can't believe that you just go off without saying goodbye or...
It's my fault. I pushed him too hard. It's my fault that he's gone.
No, John, it's not your fault. Roy's a grown man. He old enough to make his own decisions. He'll be back again. Sure, he'll be back again.
I hope so, Pa.
Sorry we can't offer you any, but it wasn't enough to go around.
Some coffee?
No?
Now?
No. You done a good job, Cartwright. And we're just as safe as we can be. I'm sorry we can't take you and the doc along with us.
Aren't you getting a little ahead of yourself? We're not that far out of Ponderosa country yet.
We'll do fine from here on out.
What'll you do for money? You said yourself there wasn't that much in the safe.
That's something we know how to get without your help.
Like that Army payroll, where you wound up with a bullet in you. I suppose I told you that I knew where and when a government stage is coming through. And it's right on our way out of here.
Where?
Not far. It'll have twice as much gold on it as you've ever seen. Now, wouldn't you like to leave here with those saddlebags full instead of a few $100s?
I don't trust him.
Shut up. How much gold?
You won't know that till you open the strong box. But I'll tell you this, if you kill me now, you'll never know.
That's right. When's it coming through?
I'll let you know when. In the meantime, you'll be perfectly safe here till it's time to ride.
But we get rid of him now.
Okay, kill the doc. But if that wound busts open, don't ask me to fix it for you.
You trying to tell me what to do?
That's right. Look, I know you get a kick out of killing us, but, what'd you think about it? What buys more? 2 dead men? Or what's gonna be on that stage?
Okay. But you just better be right. Because you're only gonna have one chance to prove it.
That's all I ask.
You sure must like living, Cartwright. Buying time the way you do. You're lucky I'm so greedy. You just leave him be for now.
Don't feel too bad about it, Dolph. Well, there'll be something in it for you. Maybe you can ambush the driver and the guard from behind. I bet you like that.
That's enough. I said that's enough. Enough! You know, I'm starting to like you all over again, Cartwright. You handle yourself pretty good.
You've got the money with you, haven't you?
No. Not me, Pa.
That's funny. I had a couple $100 in the safe. It's gone now. It's empty.
Hey, well, maybe Hoss needed it for something.
Yeah, well, I'll check with him later. Anyway, pick up some cash at the bank before you get the supplies, huh?
Hey, where's Hoss anyway? Isn't he going with us?
No, he's back at the barn there chopping down some dead trees before they get blown down. I'll see you later.
Come!
Hello! Well, I was just starting around there and back, and I found something. You ought to come look for yourself. It's 3 dead soldiers back there in their bush. Looks like the lieutenant was shot and the other 2 stabbed.
Adam, fetch Sheriff Coffee out here.
Well, you don't suppose we'll, too?
We better start looking around. Come on, come here.
Oh, that's bad. Oh, honey. Just how long you gonna stay mad at me?
You should know.
Nah, but that ain't right. I mean, you're my wife, even though you ain't worn my ring since we had that little misunderstanding.
Is that what you want to call it?
Oh, honey, it's just 'cause I want you so much.
As a wife or a woman?
Keep your eyes off me and listen. I'm not Thorne.
I'm not interested.
I'm sorry I had to hit you so hard, Doc.
I said I don't want to talk to you, you filthy traitor.
Listen, I had to do everything I could to convince Lee that I was on his side. It was the only way I could think of getting him away from the ranch, saving Ben and the others from an ambush and keeping you and me alive. There's still a long shot that we're going to get out of this. But you've got to play along with me. Wait our time.
Sure hope you don't have to do any more proving.
Now, things are just gonna work out fine. But you gotta shut your sweet little eyes
To the kind of man you've become. What would you do if I tried to run away again? Would you shoot me this time?
Oh, come on now. That's just plain silly. Besides, you're bound to see it my way sometime.
All I see is dirt.
Hey, now. I know it'll convince you. As soon as we finish here, I'm gonna take you to San Francisco, and I promise you, we'll have all the money we ever need. And we don't have to go scratching a living out of the ground the way our folks did. I'm gonna buy you the best house with fancy furniture and servants and all the best people to entertain. And I'm gonna open a saloon, better than any saloon they have in St. Louis. And every time you walk in, I'm gonna have that band play something special. Something special for Mrs. Lee Hewitt, just so everybody will know who you are. Don't that sound wonderful?
Sounds horrible.
Hey! Fred, you and Ernie best get back to town and get some men together for a posse. Ben, are you sure you ain't got no idea what happened?
Roy, I tell you, I don't know. Maybe whoever it was that robbed the safe was surprised by Lieutenant Barr and his men. I don't know.
Wait a minute. Where was Will when all this happened?
He wasn't here.
Well, I saw Will and the doc riding out toward the Ponderosa yesterday.
Roy, did you see the doc this morning?
No, I didn't.
I bet you they got caught up in this somehow. Well, let's start looking.
Here, have a drink.
Fair ladies.
Well, ladies, now let's see what I got here. I'm a loser. Lost again.
Listen, I want to talk to you. I'm not one of them.
Is that why you joined them?
Only to stay alive. Save my family and Doc. He knows. I'm stalling for all the time I can get. Give the posse a chance to close in.
I don't care. It's all over for Lee and me anyhow.
Lost again.
I can't figure you with that.
You could when we were first married.
What changed him?
Hatred. After his father was killed in a barroom brawl, Lee started... I thought if we left St. Louis, he'd gradually forget the hate. Make a new life somewhere out here. It wasn't easy. Then he met the others. They showed him the fast way to make money. 2 months later, he was showing them.
Did you try?
Try to stop him. Oh, I even tried to leave him. A month ago. When he caught up to me. Well, afterwards he took me to a doctor, and when the man finished fixing me up, he looked at Lee and said if he ever saw him again, he'd kill him. Since then, I've been watched, day and night.
If I make a move against Lee, will you help me?
I believe we split up here, we'd cover a lot more territory.
Yeah, I think you're right. Joe, you and Adam, you go with Roy. Hoss, you come with me.
All right, boy.
I want you to ride out of here to Virginia City.
What about you and the doc?
We'll be all right, as long as we can keep Lee thinking about all that money that's around here. Will you do it? All right, now listen. The trail begins about a mile down. Now find someone who'll get word to my family that we're holed up on the old quarry road. Now if they miss us here, tell them that I'm going to steer Lee back by the Rim Rock stage station. I'll try to keep Duff busy. The minute you see me start talking to him, make your way over to the horses. Can you ride bareback?
Yes.
You're quite a gal.
What do you think you're doing?
Dolph, if I'd have known you packed such a good right hand, I'd have never tangled with you.
Get back over there with the others.
Listen, we got a long way to ride together. No sense staying at each other's throats, is there? Let's forget it.
You must be kidding. Now get back over there with the others like I...
Where do you think you're going? Get Lee!
I'm sorry, the horse.
We'll think of something.
What else can we do?
I don't know yet, but struggle.
She was trying to run away again.
You're giving me an awful lot of trouble, Emma. Maybe you just ain't worth it.
Then let me go.
What, so you can tell him where we are? Oh, I used to love you a lot, Emma. And I thought you loved me. Now I just can't trust you. Not at all. Step away from her, Cartwright.
You're insane.
Yeah, I used to love you a lot, Emma. But you just don't listen anymore. And that can't be, honey. That just can't be.
Don't be a fool, Lee.
You get out of my way.
You want to let a posse know exactly where we are?
They're miles from here.
You sure? You want to ruin everything?
All right, we'll tie her up. We'll talk in the morning.
No, now. 3 hours from here is the Rimrock State Station.
Well, why didn't you tell me that before?
I said I'd let you know when I was ready.
Well, you're forgetting that I'm giving the orders.
I'm not forgetting anything. But you want a clear shot at the goal that's going to be there or not?
You saying that I don't know how to handle myself?
No. But I'm the one that knows how things are set up around here. Remember?
Yeah?
Well, if we'd have got up there early and hung around, the operator'd get suspicious. We might wind up fighting for our lives, and that stage would get away. Now, there's no profit in that, is there, Lee?
Maybe you're right.
Now, if we leave now, we'll get there by morning. And that's when the stage is due.
Okay. But I want you up in front, because I'm going to be watching you.
All right.
It appears like this is the last stop, all right. It ain't been long, neither.
Roy, come here. Got a cigar my cousin smokes.
And he could be with him. Tracks lead off that way.
We better tell Pop.
All right, but we ain't gonna wait for you.
Sure he knows where he's going?
It's an open grave if you don't.
Well, I don't like it. We could be spotted from anywhere up there.
I'll check. Where are you leading us? This ain't a trail.
We're making our own. It's harder for the posse and shorter to the station. Relax, boy. It's my life, too, remember?
We found out where they hid out, Bob, by Old Quarry Road.
What else? Looks like Will's with them.
We figured you ought to be along.
Now, what about the sheriff? They went on ahead.
The tracks were heading for the Rimrock area.
How many people?
Just the man and his wife.
All right, let's go easy. Fletch, you take the horses around back.
Well, welcome to Rimrock, folks. I'm Ed Wharton.
Hello there, Ed.
Why don't you all just sit down, huh? Make yourself comfortable. What's your pleasure, sir?
We'd like some whiskey and food.
Oh, right away. Kate's out back stirring up some stew. Make you feel like a brand new day. Almost ready now.
Just tell her to wash her hands.
There you are.
Hey, mister. I've been on the trail, too. Don't I get any service?
Oh, sure. What do you want?
Give me some cigars.
Oh, right. They're right up here on the shelf. Here you are, sir.
Give me a light. Get the sheriff. These men are wanted for murder. You heard what I said. Get the boy some stew.
Right. I'll go help Kate in the kitchen.
Cigar, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Here, have a cigar.
Thanks.
I believe in Kate. That young fella needs help.
What are you gonna do?
Gonna get some. Now, you keep him busy eating and drinking.
Right. Ed, be careful.
Ah, this is the best stew we ever laid eyes on. You be sure and give the little lady here a recipe before we leave.
Glad to.
Bust in on them, surprise them.
I can't do that, not with two women in there. What if we can bluff them out?
You ain't drinking at all.
Well, somebody's got to stay sober.
Yeah, you're right. Somebody's got to stay sober. You're a good man, Cartwright.
Come out with your hands up, all of you.
Who's that? I don't know. I can't see him.
Sounds like my uncle, Ben Cartwright. You said you wanted to meet him. Now's your chance.
You've done this.
You got 10 seconds before we start shooting. Make up your mind. Ben usually means what he says. You better get on out there with your hands up. That way you've got some kind of a chance.
After what we done to them troopers?
One more ain't gonna make any difference.
Well, what are you waiting for? Kill him.
You leave this to me.
We got a second posse on its way. And I promise you the sheriff won't give you this much of a chance. You got 4 seconds to come out now. 2 seconds.
Go on, Cartwright. Shoot your own kin. He thought he was being real clever leading us away from that ranch, so I wouldn't kill you all. But I knew it all the time. Yes, sir, I did.
What do you want?
You ride out. And if you try to follow us later, he gets it.
How do I know he'll be safe?
Well, I just might send him back, and I just might not. But you got no choice. Or one of them Cartwrights gets it right now.
If he doesn't come back, and I find you, I promise you the buzzards won't want you.
When I give you the word, start throwing some shots at the roof.
What for? Go on, just do it.
Cooking's not the only thing I can do, young man.
Emma, help me, please. Help me, Emma.
Horse. Joe, put him on the horse.
Well, Emma, I hope you'll come back to visit us again sometime soon.
Thank you for letting me rest here these last few weeks. You have a lovely ranch, Mr. Cartwright.
Thank you.
And a lovely family.
Oh?
I'll never forget your kindness. I'll never forget anything.
Goodbye, Emma.
Bye. Hey, Will, I was just wondering, maybe you ought to go along and catch that stage. There'll be another one through here for the next couple of days.
Push, push, push.
Hey, you know, boy, he's got the right name. He's liable to turn into a pretty good Cartwright after all, reckon?
Well, I don't know. You never know.
Well, friends and fellow citizens, we're here celebrating the reaching of the halfway point in the building of our new spur for the railroad line. I don't have to tell you how important this new transportation link is to us in terms of the shipping of our timber and ore and cattle. Now, Mr. Tyndall, head of our Merchants Committee, has a few words to say.
Thank you, Ben. In commemoration of this great achievement, I'm asking Na Shan, the foreman of our construction crew, to drive in this silver spike.
Hey! And now, I'd like to thank One Sai, head of the Failing Foy Tong, for his work in completing the job on schedule up to this point.
It has been good to work for men of honor who treat my brothers well. So long as this continues, you need not fear that laziness or sloth will overcome us. The work will be completed on schedule.
Thank you. Well, everything's going real good. I hope it keeps up.
Well, I hope so, too, for your sake. You put more money and personal prestige into this thing than anybody.
Oh, come on now. We're getting something out of it, too, you know. Railroad's buying our wood for the ties.
It's just a drop in the bucket compared to how much money you got in this thing, Pa. Let's hope nothing goes wrong.
What's everybody being such a gloomy Gus about? We're happy. The investors are happy. One side is happy. Everybody's happy. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, I don't know. Such things as storms, floods, landslides, and other natural calamities.
Now, Adam, you know dang well nothing like that's going to happen. As a matter of fact, I got some very special plans for a celebration as soon as this line's finished.
Yeah, what kind of plans?
You'll find out soon enough, little brother. As a matter of fact, they ought to be coming into Virginia City any minute now.
Go on, let's go home. Not one of the Wells Fargo's on the Ponderosa route.
Well, it ain't very often, I reckon, that one of your boys gets this kind of a package.
What boy and which package?
Hoss and her. She's the shipping.
Is this a surprise you were expecting?
There's got to be some sort of mistake. I sent for fireworks.
Nope, no mistake. Says right here on the tag, to Mr. Hoss Cartwright, Esquire, Ponderosa Ranch, near Virginia City, territory of Nevada, United States of America.
But I ordered fireworks.
From the Yippee Trading Company, Canton, China. Here's the bill of lading. One wife to be delivered in good condition.
Wife? Wife? I don't even know her.
Name is Ty Lee. Here's her passport. And you can hand over $37.92. That's the excess baggage charges.
I ordered fireworks, right? Paul, it was like this. See, I seen this advertisement in the San Francisco Argonaut, and it said for $10 I could get this world's greatest display of fireworks from this Yippee Trading Company in Canton, China. So I ordered it so we could celebrate when the spur line was finished, and they got all mixed up, and they sent me this.
You insufferable stuffed artichoke. If you think you dislike having me here more than I dislike being here, you are grossly mistaken.
It talks.
It talks English.
Why not? If you can, anyone can. I shall use every word at my disposal to express my contempt for wife trading.
Wife trading? Now, see, Paul, that proves it's a mistake. Look, Rafe, just mark it wrong address and send back to sender and just put it back on the wagon.
Oh, no, you don't. At least not in this wagon.
Hoss, maybe you'd better accept the shipment temporarily until we can talk to the authorities.
Well, if it's real temporary.
You dare be supercilious to me.
I ain't super nothing. But I ordered no wife, neither.
Sign here. That'll be $37.92 cash.
I ordered fireworks.
Rafe. Did you say $37.92?
Right.
10, 20, 30, 40. Keep the change.
Thanks.
Fireworks.
Hop Sing! Hop Sing! Where the blazes are you?
This is very fine place. Typical of rich landowner who live by sweat of others less fortunate.
Hop Sing!
Yeah, well, most of the sweating that's done around here, we do it.
You call Mr. Cartwright?
Yes, I called. Where were you when we were looking in this stuff?
Hola.
This is Miss Ty Lee. She'll be our house guest here for a while. This is Hop Sing, our chief cook and general factotum. Matter of fact, he's the man who runs the household.
Most honor to meet lovely lady whose name mean heavenly pink cloud.
More like grand thunderstorm.
It is nice to meet a countryman in such a far place, but not one in such menial work.
Hop Sing no understand.
Oh, well, Miss Ty Lee means that maybe being a cook is, beneath your dignity.
Beneath dignity? Have not give matter much thought.
You will soon. Don't worry. You help me hang this picture?
You want to hang that on the wall? I mean, is it your grandmother or something?
That happens to be the Honorable Miss Lao Chu, president of the Revolutionary and World Remaking Academy for Young Ladies in Fuzhou. I should say it used to be in Fuzhou.
Excuse me. You're a graduate of... What was the name of that school?
Miss Lao Chu's Revolutionary and World Remaking Academy for Young Ladies. Well, I'm almost a graduate. See? No bound feet.
Oh, yeah. What do you mean, almost a graduate?
Well, you see, Miss Lao Chu have very progressive ideas. One of them was to eliminate the Dowager Empress of China, Susi. The Dowager Empress struck first.
You mean, Miss Lao Chu, paid the supreme penalty?
She lost her hair completely. I never got my diploma. All the students were scattered. I ended up in the hands of the infamous Yip He. You bought me from him.
Well, I guess you'd better do penance and hang Miss Lao Chu. If you don't think that's committing double jeopardy.
Good morning, venerable teacher. I dedicate this day to you, and I promise always to remember your 3 laws of progress. Never mind my own business, never allow people to be contented with their fate, and never be reasonable, for reason leads to compromise, and compromise means defeat.
Out there working on Hop Sing now. Oh, she. How many she's we got around here? Her, Ty Lee.
Oh, she making mountains out of molehills. That fellow countryman just talking?
I don't know, Port. Seems kind of fishy to me.
Gee, I hope not. I hate fish for breakfast.
Oh, it's too early for those kind of jokes. Let's eat.
That wasn't so bad.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Hoss.
Only age knows value of courtesy.
Hey, there's no fruit. Where's the fruit?
I told you there's something fishy going on around here.
Hop Sing, you usually have fresh fruit for breakfast. Where is it?
No fruit today.
What, no hot biscuits? Cold toast.
No fruit. No hot biscuits. No eggs. No nothing, huh?
And no thick slice of ham, fried potatoes, blueberry flapjacks, maple syrup, honey, crabapple jelly, or apricot preserves either, right?
Miss Lao Chu quote famous Occidental saying, "A laborer is worthy of his hire."
Small pay, small food.
Yeah, well, why all of a sudden? You never complained before.
He was never educated to his poverty before.
I got a half a notion.
Hoss, you just sit still until you get the other half. Now,
Maybe Hop Sing deserves a raise. Of course, if we gave him a raise, we'd have to cut out those free trips to San Francisco, cut out squaring those Van Tan losses, and giving him that extra money at New Year's.
Both American and Chinese.
But, Mr. Adam...
That is all, Hop Sing. Dakala. I'm quite prepared to handle all negotiation.
Well, isn't that a pretty one?
Chinese wind chime. Brought over from Old Country.
Yeah. Never seen one quite like this.
Useful to keep out evil spirit and induce good spirit to go in.
Very pleasant superstition.
Your house is poorly designed to repel evil spirits.
Yes, I've often figured as much.
You have no upturned eaves, no sharp projections to stick them and discourage the entry.
Well, I wish we'd have known about that a couple of days ago.
Hoss.
I reckon it's all that food I ain't been getting, Paul, that's making me grouchy. The fact is, those extra hands for the roundup are going to be coming in today. We got to figure out some way to feed them since Hop Sing's in the mood he's in.
Oh, don't worry about that. I got us a chuck wagon cook. You just better make sure that the bunkhouse is ready for them.
Checked it out. It's clean as a whistle.
Good.
What are these hands you are talking about?
Well, that's Western lingo for cowboys.
Oh. And what is a bunkhouse?
That's where we put them up. How come you're asking all these questions anyhow?
All women are curious. Chinese women no different.
Dang if they ain't.
Howdy, boss.
What are you fellas still doing in here? You're supposed to have been out there an hour ago.
I have answer for that.
What are you doing in here?
It is a simple thing. I have appointed myself spokesman for the workers, and they have accepted me.
That's right, Hoss. That's right, Hoss. What's the matter with you fellers, anyhow? Listen to this silly little gal here, barely out of her teens. You forgot the sense you was born with?
Well, me and the boys figure she's got a lot of sense.
Quit smiling like a moon-faced calf.
Who are you calling a moon-faced calf?
You! Rod, look, we got 1,000 cattle running loose out there while you yahoos are in here playing games with this maverick.
The man will work when you have met our demands, which are quite modest.
Our demands?
Yes. Extra men on all branding, roping, and fence mending teams. Better food on the, what you call it?
Chuck wagon.
Is that all?
There is one other item.
A pool table here in the bunkhouse.
A what?
A pool table here in the bunkhouse.
How about some dimity curtains on your windows and maybe some little...
Now, wait a minute, Hoss, will you?
You wait a minute. Sit down and shut up, Rod. Leave him alone,
And
you too, Clarence. Shut up.
Intimidation will get you nowhere.
I ain't tried it yet. But I'm liable to if this continues.
Are you going to beat me?
Not exactly. I'm going to give you a little something that Madame Lao Chu forgot.
What is that?
A good, sound spanking.
You wouldn't dare.
Oh, I wouldn't, huh?
Good morning, Hoss.
Morning.
You interested in my poor invention?
Not particular. What is it in here?
You just find me a small screwdriver, please. Very small. I have a delicate adjustment to make. Thank you.
All right. Come on now, let me take a look.
Are you sure you want to?
Yeah.
Well, in that case...
What's in it?
Music. It was brought to China by Yankee trader. Listen.
I thought you said you invented it.
I made a few modifications.
Hey, it's Pop Goes the Weasel, ain't it?
Yes. You are a very fine judge of music.
Don't take nothing to figure Pop Goes the Weasel. I see. And I guess that Miss Chia Lu taught you that too, huh?
Yes, Miss Lodge taught you everything.
Good. I hope I wish... I hope she taught you to swim.
I'll get you for this. Hey, yo, Chile. Come on. Punch, I need. I'll get you for this.
This humble person requests audience of illustrious horse Cartwright, distinguished middle son of household.
Illustrious Mr. Horse must have read visitor mind. Already hear him approaching with honorable father.
Yeah, she's more humiliated than hurt, but she's sure mad. Oh, now, Sean.
Mr. Cartwright.
Nice to see you.
Sean?
Oh, come on, sit down.
Thank you.
Well, what can I do for you?
You can do nothing, venerable sir, but Mr. Horse can do much.
Me? What?
It concerned grave slip-up in operation of Yip He Trading Company of Canton, China.
Did you say Yippee Trading Company of Canton, China?
Some months ago, I made contract with esteemed Yip He himself. He is to send me beautiful bride. I am to pay San Francisco agent so many U.S. gold eagles. Well, I pay money, but don't get bride.
Oh, so wasn't that the trading company that...
Yep.
And you heard that Hoss had received what you had expected to receive and didn't, and so you've come to claim her. Is that it?
You hit nail on hit, sir.
Well, old friend, I was never so glad to do a man a favor. See, I ordered these fireworks from the Yippee Trading Company. I never reckoned on the kind I got. No, she's yours. You take her.
First, must make sure goods not damaged.
Oh, that question's silly.
It most certainly is. I I am not a commodity for international barter. I do not recognize the right of this man to buy me like a cow, any more than that of this man.
Do my eyes deceive me? Moon goddess herself, whom you must surely resemble, would get no more tender treatment from me than you, lustrous maiden.
Why waste time spouting poetic speech? You have not yet mastered simple morality. You think me a bauble, to be played with and tossed aside?
I consider you my promised wife, yearn for during lonely nights.
Promise? Not by me. And may I hasten to point out, it is broad daylight.
No, wait a minute. What are you two arguing about anyhow? Why, you're going to have years to do that in.
You don't believe in slavery, do you?
Oh, sort of, on a temporary basis.
What he means, Tyler, is that love makes a slave of us all.
No more foolishness. Man not made to be shamed by woman. We go now.
I go nowhere with you. I stay here on Ponderosa. I make life better for all. Not just one man.
No good China girl acts so.
Well, you've never met up with one that was taught by Miss Lao Chu before.
Miss Lao Chu, complete stranger. This woman is bewitched. Honorable horse cartwright has put her under spell.
Me?
Oh, now, Sean, you don't believe that. Why, you're an educated man. You're a student. You don't believe any such nonsense, do you?
Not so sure. But men do crazy things for love.
Yeah, but I ain't that crazy yet.
You watch language, you miserable worm.
You see? Already she treat him like husband.
Well, I think we should have a cooling off period.
I stay hot, thank you. Go now. End of story, not yet told.
Ty Lee, you're going to end up an old maid sure as shooting.
I bet you not.
Oh, Ty Lee, Sean is such a wonderful young man. You treated him so terribly.
He's got a good job and a bright future.
Yeah.
Oh? What kind of work he do?
He's the foreman of a railroad construction crew.
Oh, how interesting. Where is this work being done?
Out of Green Meadows, out Otter Creek.
Oh, well, it would be interesting to see how other countrymen work in this new land.
It'd be a whole lot more interesting if you'd go out there and apologize to Nashan.
Sure would.
Oh, I will speak to Nashan. Rest assured.
Well, railroad camp is no place for a young girl to go.
Miss Light will teach us to handle all men in all situations.
She could.
Hey, Adam, where is everybody?
What's the matter? Is the woods on fire?
You're not too far from being right. Hey, Pa!
Yeah.
Well, she's at it again.
She, who, what?
You got a pretty short memory. Ty Lee.
I was just hoping against hope, that's all.
Not the railroad workers. That's the only thing left.
Nobody else. And if they go along with her, we're in real trouble.
How could one wrong-headed woman make fools of so many men?
Well, I guess you've forgotten about Eve, Cleopatra, and Lucrezia Borgia, hmm?
Not to mention Madame Lao Chu. And it took another woman to nail her.
Now, look, Pa, you're gonna have to take control. You're gonna have to show her who's boss.
I have a feeling she already knows.
You ain't giving up.
Son, we've just begun to fight. I think it's safe to say that. Come on.
2120! You must rise above your suppressors! The history of the world proves that revolution is the only remedy! You must rise against your oppressors!
Listen to me, man. The history of life proved that truth seldom come in fancy wrapping.
Law of failing foy, says brothers must follow Master of Tong. I command you, do not listen to silken words.
Who shall you follow? Old man or young woman?
When do we begin to fight, Pa?
Or would it be better to run and fight another day?
You need more money! The bosses come to intimidate you.
Now, wait a minute. How could we four intimidate all of you? We've just come to reason with you and point out that this baby ought to be back in her crib so that grown men could get on with their work.
You are wise not to heed speech of serpent. And this baby not ready for crib yet.
Now, look, I'm talking to these men. Have you decided to follow this Joan of Arc?
That is first true thing you say.
I am addressing myself to them. All right, what is it you want? What are your demands?
We have not yet formulated our demands.
Well, in that case, don't you think the men should continue to work until you do?
No, we shall strike first. Miss Larcher would insist.
All right, Tylee. You've done enough damage for one day. Let's get on home.
As rebel leader, I choose to stay with rebels.
Well, do you think you'll feel as comfortable here as back at the Ponderosa?
It's an awful long way to call for help.
Tylee, it's just as comfortable to negotiate at the house. Now, let's go.
Goodbye for now, my brothers. But I promise, victory shall be ours.
Tylee, how come you met this Miss Lao Chu?
Well, you see, my honorable father was rug trader from Persia. He come to China on business trip. He married my mother. She was Chinese princess. This was against imperial law. Dowager Empress, after I was born, take my honorable father's life. My mother was desperate. She worried for my life, too. Then she learned about Miss La Chu, so with hidden money, she sent me there.
Now, surely your mother didn't send you to Miss Lao Chu to study the art of vengeance.
No, mother too soft. But Miss La Chu, she's strong, like tiger. She say vengeance important part of making revolution.
Seems to me that Miss Lao Chu would have wanted you to be a very good judge of when to make revolutions.
Once I hear, he pretty man.
That seems to be the normal condition of everybody lately.
Maybe you better come kitchen with Hop Sing.
You want me to run from enemies?
Sure, Hop Sing do all the time.
Once you honor our home. Won't you sit down, please? Would you care for some tea?
No, thank you, honorable master of this dwelling. I put my pride aside to come and beg your intervention with this visitor in your house.
Oh, yeah, well, as a matter of fact, I was just about to discuss the situation with her.
Good. Because I do not know how to discuss business with a woman.
That is because you men have never admitted we have brains.
I know how difficult your coming here must have been for you. But we'll do everything in our power to remedy the situation.
Then ask this person to name her conditions.
Well, Tylee?
I have not yet decided conditions. Tell this person, sign agreement. I will fill in condition later.
Well, I wouldn't do any such ridiculous thing.
Then men strike till you do.
I'm an old man, but my patience grows thin.
Yeah. Matsai, I'll do everything I can to persuade the young lady to act with more consideration for all concerned.
I regret my humiliation in coming here. I should have listened to advice of Tong brothers.
Boss. All right, Miss Tylee, I think the time has come to stop playing games.
I am not playing games.
You have become involved in something far beyond your very immature understanding.
Miss Lao Chu teaches me to understand everything.
I can just understand how that Dowager Empress must have felt.
Please, do not blaspheme.
Howdy, old feller. What can I do for you?
Once more. Easy. Mr. Horse, he gone. Hop Sing find this one, go dumping out garbage.
What's that got to do with the garbage?
This tongue chopper. Hop Sing find wheelbarrow track leading to wagon track. Maybe they take him to Failing Foy Tong House.
We'll find out about this.
Come the revolution, Miss Lao Chu teach pupils no more tongue.
You just better hope that nothing has happened to Haas, young lady, because of Miss Lao Chu's teachings.
Prisoner, you've heard me judge you guilty. Have you anything to say before sentence is passed?
Yeah, this ain't constitutional.
I agree. This is highly irregular.
Welcome, Mr. Cartwright. We've been expecting you. Your son is in grave trouble.
Yes, I know, One Sai. But I'm surprised at your methods.
You surprised? But at the last meeting, I told you if your methods failed, I must use age-old methods of Tong.
But why against my son?
Because Na Shan has accused your son of casting a spell over Tai Li.
We found Hospan. Let's get out of here.
Only when I say so, gentlemen. Please look behind you.
One Sai, I have a suggestion I would like to discuss.
Can afford brief truce while you expound suggestion.
Thank you. Would you like to see Tai Li under the influence of a husband?
Would I not? I've already offered prayers to the gracious Kuan Yin. What have you to say to this?
If this person who has bewitched her will fight for her.
Excellent. Agreed.
Paul, wait a minute.
So be it. May the spirits of earth, air, and water favor the better man.
Thank you, my son.
Boy, how do you get to be so lucky?
Let's go, son.
Paul, wait a minute. What are you trying to do to me?
Well, Oz, just think of this as a sort of a chess game.
A chess game?
Yeah. Right now, one side's stalemated and you're freed.
Yeah. Yeah, but what's this about having to fight for Tai Li?
Oh, that's
That's another game entirely.
Yeah, and she's the only one that knows the rules.
Well, don't be too sure.
Yo, Paul, maybe you ain't gonna show up. It's been a full day already.
Well, 1 day, 2 days, today, tomorrow. He'll show up.
I sure hope you know what you're doing.
I know what I'm doing, son. Tylee is no different from any other woman.
She ain't? Well, up until now, she has been.
Oh, how interesting. You prepare a weapon to fight for me.
Well, I prepare a thing to dig a hole with. A hole that I wish I was in.
I do not understand. You should prepare for a fight. Miss Lodge should teach always be prepared. Always be ready to fight for revolution.
Tylee, as a student of revolutions, it might be of interest to you to know that this country was born out of a revolution.
Can this be true?
Yes, it can.
Miss Lao Chu never mentioned this.
Well, Miss Lao Chu, notwithstanding to the contrary, etc., it is true. The American Revolution was one of the first great victories for liberty and freedom. So you see, we really don't need anyone to teach us about revolutions and things like that. Although, once you're married, you'll have other things to occupy your mind.
Then I shall not marry. I will not give up work of great teacher.
Well, as I told you before, the immigration office in San Francisco says you either get married or go back to China.
And as I told you before, that is injustice, tyranny, outrage. But it is better than going back to China and having head chopped off like Miss Lao Chu.
Yeah.
Besides, I can easily train husband.
Yeah. You're gonna have to find one first, though.
Where is Nashan? Why has he not come to fight for me?
Well, it just could be that he's got a whole lot more sense than you gave him credit for.
He's probably preparing himself. He'll show up.
He better. I know how to take care of a person who insult me.
Honorable Horse Cartwright.
The moment of decision has arrived.
Why 本人名義要殺 Horse Cartwright？ 為本人名義要殺 Horse Cartwright？ 為將來幸福要殺 Horse Cartwright？
What's going on, Pop?
You're about to witness the battle of the century.
Well, what's Hoss gonna fight with, a can opener?
I challenge Horse Cartwright. If you are not coward descended from long line of Singh, come out and fight for Tylee. And nothing lost in translation.
Look, Nashan, they ain't no use in me and you batting heads over this little gal. Why, she's all yours anyhow. You just take her, and they ain't nothing lost in the transfer.
Now, hold on there, son. Did you hear what he said about being descended from a long line? You trying to make me out a coward?
No, Paul, but...
You try and make me look undesirable?
No, but couldn't we...
Son, get in there and fight.
Paul, he's got a sword.
Of course. You're not trying to win, are you? Hmm?
They fight over me like two knights fighting over fairy princess.
receive firework. I deliver now.
Nasha, you are my hero. I like you pretty much, but Nasha is greatest revolter of all.
I'll tell you this, best fight I ever lost.
That's something, too.
I'm very happy to announce the resumption of work on the railroad spur, and I'm even happier to announce that Tylee has given up politics in favor of matrimony. Although she unquestionably has left her mark.
That's right. We've got the first pool table in any bunkhouse in the territory.
Even I concede credit for helping Tong Brothers get slight raise in pay.
Hobson getting new stove and cookbook. Cookbook. They any good?
No. And I have the best of all.
Best yet to come. Miss Lauchu, keep on wall. She keep away evil spirit.
Well, don't feel too bad. You can still write the Yippee Trading Company. We have the 4th of July, you know.
Hey, yeah. Might be sort of interesting to see what kind of fireworks they send this time, huh?
Vamos a seguirlos.
Pretty fancy-looking rig. What they're doing on our land?
Well, maybe they lost their way. Let's get on and find out.
Buenos días, señores.
Yes.
¿Cómo está?
You're on your way to Virginia City. You're off the main road here.
No, señor.
Senores, permit me. I am Mateo Ibarra. Perhaps you have heard of me?
Indeed we have. From my nephew.
Your nephew?
Yes, Will Cartwright.
Guillermo. Ah, then you must be...
Well, I'm Ben Cartwright.
Oh, senor. It is a pleasure. It is a privilege.
Espérate. Vente, vámonos.
Carla, come. Meet Guillermo's uncle. Senor, my wife.
Senora Ibarra?
And Guillermo, how is he?
Fine.
Ah, bien, muy bien. It will be wonderful to see him again.
Well, I'm afraid you're in for a bit of a disappointment. He left on a cattle drive just yesterday morning.
But I must see him, senor. I'm going back to Mexico. I have to be in El Paso del Norte as soon as possible.
But, Mateo, if he's not here...
Carla, I must speak to him. If he is not here, we will go where he is.
If it's necessary and urgent,
Oh, it is urgent, senor.
Adam said he'd probably make camp at Harker's Crossing tonight. Why don't you ride over and tell Will that Senor Ybarra's here? And you stay with the horse and Adam. Give him a hand with the herd.
Right, Bob.
Gracias, senor.
¡Estúpido!
Joseph, come back here! Joseph! Come back!
I want you to get into town. Get Doc Martin to come over to the house right away. And then go after Will.
Right, Pop.
No es nada, Carla mía.
Yo sé, pero no te mueves.
We camp here tonight. No fires.
I could have you shot for this, Vicente.
Could you?
My orders were to follow Ibarra and to arrest him if he crossed the border. As long as I am in command, you will obey those orders.
With the sedative I gave him, he'll be all right, except for a mighty sore shoulder for a while.
How soon will he be able to travel?
Right now, if he had to. But I'd give him a few days.
Well, I'll be downstairs if you want anything.
Gracias.
Oh, you'll find a bed and blankets in the bunkhouse right through there.
Gracias, sir. So that's Mateo Ibarra.
You recognize him?
When I was in Texas a few years ago, well, he and his gang of Comancheros used to practically run the state of Chihuahua. What's he doing here, Ben?
Oh, a friend of Will's. Will rode with him for a couple of years.
Will rode with that bandit?
That bandit was fighting for Juarez at the time.
Oh.
Luis. Ven.
¿Qué pasa?
Pacheco wants you. Come. Luis, deprisa.
You made good time.
We only got as far as Wolf Hill today.
Little Joe caught up with us just as we were making camp. How's Mateo been?
You go on in.
Why didn't you write me you were coming?
You know how Mateo likes surprises. Besides, we thought our journey was a secret.
The realistas have probably been watching him ever since he landed in California. The wonder is they waited 5 years to try to kill him.
Because he was not a threat to them in California. Now he is. Guillermo. We are returning to Mexico.
That's what I hear.
We mustn't disturb him. I wonder if I could have a glass of sherry. As Guillermo knows, it takes money to raise an army.
And you have the money now.
Si. Waiting for us in El Paso del Norte. Enough money to arm and equip 3,000 men.
Well, that should make Juarez pretty happy. From what we read in the papers here, he needs help against the realistas.
Juarez always needs help. Maybe it's because he promises too much. You know, he's always talking about law and justice when all the people really want is food and land.
Well, Senora, without law and justice, what guarantee do the people have that they'll be able to keep their land? Well, I better be getting upstairs. Good night.
Your uncle is a very charming man, Guillermo. And this ranch, this hacienda, it's called the Ponderosa, is it not? Guillermo, are you happy here?
What does Mateo want?
When you ask me like that, I think you know.
He wants me to go back to Mexico with him, doesn't he?
He wants you very badly, Guillermo.
You asked me if I was happy here. I am.
Does that mean you're going to refuse him?
Yes.
I didn't want to come here. I'm sure you are aware of that. I told Mateo I thought it would be a waste of time, that you would refuse him. He said, refuse? How can he refuse? Guillermo, how can you refuse him? Have you changed that much?
I think so.
I wonder. Good night, Guillermo.
We say Ibarra dies now. But why, Vicente? Why?
Because, Luis, they are very young, have all their lives yet to live, and are impatient to get on with it.
What is the difference if Ibarra dies here or in Mexico in front of a firing squad?
The difference is that we are soldiers, not assassins.
And have you forgotten what Ibarra is?
We were sent to arrest him, not to execute him.
Maximo's right.
Why do we argue? You have made up your minds. You are 3. We are 2. We are outvoted.
But this is wrong. We have our orders. Pacheco's in command. You cannot deny that. All we want to do is change the orders.
Only on the condition that Ibarra does not die until after we have left the Ponderosa.
What difference does it make?
I will not argue with you, Vicente. Those are my terms.
Pacheco.
Hermano mío.
Now, Mateo, you should be in bed.
What? I do not walk on my hands.
Just the same, don't wander too far, huh?
What, you worried about those pistoleros the realistas sent to kill me?
That's right.
You know the realistas, Guillermo, shoot and run.
Well, don't count on it.
Hey, Guillermo. Hey, you remember that realistas captain? You remember Santa Rosalia? The captain you spanked with the flat of his sword? Huh?
I remember.
With all the people shouting like at a bullfight, Ole! Remember? Ole! What is it, Guillermo?
Carla. She told me you want me to go back to Mexico with you.
Guillermo, it will be like the old days, huh? Only better, much better.
Listen, Mateo.
In a year, maybe less, we'll ride into Mexico City, right up to the presidential palace, huh? With 5,000, no, maybe 10,000 compañeros riding behind us, huh?
I'm not going with you, Mateo.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to stay here. This is my home.
You mean you're going to be a ranchero for the rest of your life? No, I know you're joking. I need you. I do. All of our compañeros are gone. You are the only one that I have left that I can trust, that I can listen to.
Like you listened at San Lorenzo. I shouldn't have said that.
No. No. Do not apologize. No, you're right. I did not listen to you at San Lorenzo, and 200 men were killed. The few of us that were left had to run like whipped dogs. I did not stop running until I reached California.
Mateo, will you just forget it?
No, let us not forget. But let us not pick and choose what to remember, eh? Yes, there was San Lorenzo, but there were also other places, other times. We should not forget those. Huh?
Like Rio Blanco.
Like Rio Blanco. See? A gringo saddle tramp, sitting in a jail cell, drunk, waiting to die in front of a realista's firing squad the next morning. You needed me that night in Rio Blanco, Guillermo. I did not fail you.
Well, you seem to have made a speedy recovery.
Once I rode all day and all night with 3 holes like this one in me. Remember, Guillermo. My horse gave up before I did.
I'm going into town to get some supplies. Anything that you might need?
I'll check, Ben. We'll talk later, Mateo.
See. Oh, Senor Ibarra is bringing up your breakfast.
Gracias.
If you still have an appetite.
Ben? Yeah. Food, food, food.
Here's some leather that needs fixing.
I'll throw it in the back. I'll leave it at the harness shop. Anything else?
No. Ben. Ben, I would like to talk to you.
Buenos dias, amor.
Did you see Guillermo?
See?
And?
He will come with us.
Did he say so?
No, but I could tell in his eyes.
Stop it.
You know, it makes me sad that you do not like Guillermo. Did you once make eyes at him when he did not approve? Querida mia, you forget I am not a well man.
Oh, you are a fool.
A fool, Carla mia. An ignorant man, perhaps, but a fool. No. And I will tell you why. Because I know what I am and what I am not. I am a bandido, a comanchero. I can hunt and I can hide. I can raid a hacendado and set fire to his casa and his crops and steal his cattle and his gold and once his beautiful daughter. But I am not Guillermo. I do not think like a general. I cannot lead an army.
You did once?
To San Lorenzo to be butchered. That is why I need Guillermo. With him, we can go to Mexico City. Then perhaps you will not hate me when I touch you. Nor yourself for wanting me to.
Four of Mateo's men were killed breaking me out of that jail at Rio Blanco.
I know.
4 men to save the life of one worthless Norte Americano who hit a Realista officer who happened to spill my drink.
I know, you told me that.
Yeah, but what I didn't tell you is this. One of those 4 men was Mateo's brother.
His brother?
His name was Esteban. He was a couple of years younger than Mateo. But he was all the family that Mateo had left.
But Will...
Ben, let me finish. About a year later, we rode back to Rio Blanco. Mateo went to visit Esteban's grave. I went with him. And that's where he gave me this.
Stevens?
Yes.
And that was when you took his brother's place?
Yes. And for the first time in years, Ben, I did not feel alone. I meant something to someone, belonged somewhere, with Mateo and his men. And now I've started wondering. Maybe I still do.
No, Will. You don't. You belong here. You see, we're the only family you have left.
Thanks, Ben. I thought so, too. For a while, it seemed right. But then when little Joe rode into that camp and told me about Mateo, I don't know, something happened. I looked at him and Adam and Haas, and I was a stranger to them. Like someone who came to a party by mistake. And I look around here, Ben, and I don't see myself. I see you and the boys. It's yours. You built it, and you belong.
Will. You've been here such a short time. You know, it takes getting used to a new place like this. And then particularly when you start comparing your feelings toward Mateo and toward us. Well, you lived with Mateo. You fought with him. You risked your lives one for the other. Of course, you feel very close to him, but still, we are your family. I don't just a word, but it's a word which deserves a chance for some meaning. Time to gain some meaning. You think about that when you talk to Mateo.
Be back around supper time.
Guillermo. Mateo's asleep.
I want to talk to him.
He's drunk. Let him sleep, please.
Well, I wanted to ask him a few questions. Maybe you can answer them. About the money waiting in El Paso del Norte. Where did it come from?
From friends? Why?
You mean the peons, the vaqueros, the campesinos? A peso here and a centavo there?
Well, why do you think it took 5 years?
Well, what about Juarez?
What about him?
Well, doesn't he know Mateo's coming back?
Why should he?
Well, he's still president of Mexico.
Juarez is president of nothing. The realists have him trapped at Veracruz.
Well, isn't that why Mateo's going back? To help him break out of that trap?
He'll help him if he can.
Who'll decide that? Mateo? Or you?
I have always tried to help Mateo with his decisions.
Like his decision to attack San Lorenzo.
And we had to swim the Rio Grande. ¿No quieres? Bien, mi querida. It was spring, and the river was a mile wide from the flood. When we got on the other side, Guillermo, he poured the water from his boots, and he looked up at me and he said, "Hey, Mateo, what we need is a navy." Well, maybe we have one this time.
I still have a few things to do. I better get started before it gets too late.
Excuse me.
Will?
The way Mateo's talking, he still thinks you're going with him. When I left you this morning, I had the feeling you were...
I was, Ben.
What happened?
It was something Luis Hidalgo said to me about Carla. About how she spreads her greed around like a sickness. Then I had a talk with Carla. That's when I made up my mind. I haven't told Mateo yet, but I'm going back with him, Ben.
I just don't understand you. Why?
Carla's hiding something. I don't know what it is, but I know this much. Mateo may think he's going back to help Juarez, but Carla has other plans for him.
What kind of plans? What does she want?
Mexico.
He's got an ambition. What about Mateo? Does he share this ambition with her?
No, Ben. Mateo really wants to help Juarez.
Tell me, has he always been a heavy drinker?
He always liked to drink, but not like I've seen him here.
What's he afraid of?
I think he's afraid of Carla. of what she may force him to do someday to keep her. He hasn't forgotten San Lorenzo.
Strange man. Talks so big, so grandly about war, and the excitement of action, companionship of danger. Yet in the couple of days he's been here, he strikes me as a man who's afraid, unsure of himself. Now you tell me he's dominated by this woman. And which man is he, Will?
I don't know anymore. Maybe the years have changed him.
Maybe they have. And if they have, is he worth what he's asking you to do?
Was I worth what he did for me at Rio Blanco?
And if those pistoleros are watching, they will think that Carla and I are in the carriage.
I hope so.
And with 3 men guarding it. Oh, very good.
Luis, you leave on the carriage at daybreak. If those men haven't followed you or stopped you by the time you get to Spring River, turn around and come back. We'll be waiting for you in San Francisco.
Comprendo.
Well.
Huh?
Are you sure that you'll be able to get a ship out of San Francisco?
I wired San Francisco. The Westerner leaves on Tuesday for San Diego. From San Diego, we take a coach to El Paso. It's our bodyguards. Luis.
Now, do you see why I want Guillermo with me? He thinks of everything. He does not take chances.
He's intelligent. Experienced. You're lucky to have him as a friend.
Friend more than just a friend, senor. I may not have another chance. Let me thank you for your hospitality. Would you have a drink with me?
Excuse me.
Senor, you're not happy I'm taking Guillermo with me. Do you not know the reason he's going?
I think I do. Out of a sense of loyalty to you. Gratitude for what you did at Rio Blanco.
That is only the excuse. That is not the reason. It is something else. It is something inside. Not here. Not here. Here. It is a hunger. A thirst that will never go away. I know. In California, the life was good, very good. The sun was warm, the rain was gentle, the earth was rich. I looked at all that I had and I asked myself, why do I want to leave this place? I had no answer. Only the need, the hunger to move on, to go somewhere. It is the same with Guillermo. He and I are very much alike, senor. So learn to say adios. It is something you will say often with your nephew.
Strange. Your words are so eloquent. Why don't I believe them?
I am a man of many words, senor. Which of my words do you not believe?
That word hunger. That my nephew has this hunger, as you call it. Maybe that was true at one time, but not now. Not now that he has a home and a family. No. Now, if he goes with you, he'll go as I said. To repay you for Rio Blanco.
Senor, which other of my words do you not believe?
I don't know. just hope that what my nephew is doing, he's doing for the right man.
Gracias.
Nada.
Say goodbye to Adam, Huss, and Little Joe for me.
Have you decided which man you're doing this for?
It doesn't matter. I've still got a debt to pay.
I was kind of hoping that you thought you'd paid it.
Not yet. Adios. Uncle.
Vaya con Dios. Nephew.
Adios, senor.
Guillermo, I need rest.
There's a shack up ahead. We can rest there. Take him inside. I'll get the water.
Sí. Cuidado, ¿eh?
De nada.
Hace mucho mal. Siéntese allá.
Sí.
Mira, ¿quieres un poco de agua?
Ah, sí.
Cuidado.
Vicente, we do this my way. As long as this is done.
When my horse is rested, I will ride it as far as it will take me. Gracias.
Don Guillermo! Don Guillermo! It is I, Juan Pacheco.
Juan Pacheco?
What's he doing with the realistas?
I want to talk to you alone. Do you hear me? I hear you. What do you want, Pacheco? Please come out, Don Guillermo.
You can't go out there. Can't you see it's a trap?
You know why Pacheco is there, don't you? Why does he want me dead? Tell me.
What's this all about, Pacheco?
We want Mateo.
Who's we?
Vicente Morales, Alfonso Máximo, Tomás Santos, and Juan Pacheco.
Whose side are you fighting for now?
Luis told us you thought we were realistas.
Is Luis with you, too?
That's how we knew Mateo would not be traveling south. Luis is no realista, Guillermo. You know that. Nor am I.
It is they who are realistas. The ones who want to make a foreigner emperor of Mexico.
I don't believe it.
Mateo Ibarra has an agreement with the realistas.
They will let him take Mexico City. He will proclaim himself El Gaudillo.
Pacheco, you rode with Mateo. You can't believe that.
We have proof.
A warrant for Mateo's arrest on a charge of treason. Signed by Benito Juarez.
There must be some mistake, Pacheco.
I was with the president when he heard the evidence.
What evidence?
From a captured realista officer, General Arriaga, who went to California to negotiate the arrangements.
I can't believe it, Pacheco. You know Mateo. We can settle this right now.
Senor, it is settled. Tell him.
I asked them to give you a chance to save your life, Guillermo. They agreed, because you once served Juarez well.
So did Mateo.
It is not we who have forgotten. It is Mateo himself.
Get on your horse, Guillermo. Ride out. Take the senora with you. Leave Mateo to us.
To be murdered.
Executed.
Well, what are you going to say to Juarez? That you shot him while he was trying to escape?
There's no use arguing, Guillermo. It is decided.
It's not decided. Not until Mateo has a chance to defend himself. Then it's decided.
There's nothing I can do, amigo. I'm sorry.
You're sorry. He was your friend, Pacheco.
That was another Mateo, Guillermo.
You have 1 hour to decide what you want to do.
You're wasting an hour.
It is your life, senor.
The only way we had to raise any money for the army. If the realistas were foolish enough to think they could control you, then why not use them? We could turn on
them, too. Oh, you really had this figured out, didn't you? Right down to that last double cross. Did you know anything at all about this, Mateo?
No, he didn't. I was the only one who talked to the realistas. I planned it all myself.
Well, those Juaristas out there, they don't believe this. Mateo, they called me out to tell me that they were giving me a chance to get out before they kill you.
Take it, Guillermo.
I can't.
Take it. Carla is wrong. I knew what she was doing all the time.
How could you know? I wasn't even going to tell you until we got to Mexico.
Did you think you had to tell me? Do you think I could not guess? I knew. I was pretending I did not know. I did not want to admit it, not even to myself. Not until Carla said it herself a minute ago. I knew. I was for sale. If the realistas had enough money to buy me, they could have me.
Why?
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 Because I was rotting away in California.
To turn your back on everything you fought for.
What did I fight for, Guillermo? Liberty, justice, freedom?
Yes! You fought for those things. We fought for them.
Maybe once, but that was long ago. Afterwards, I fought because it was the only thing that I knew how to do. Why, what for, who for, it did not make any difference. I fought for Juarez, and before Juarez, for Pedro Iribas, and before Iribas, for Santa Anna. And when the fighting was finished, and they had won, and they did not need Mateo Ibarra any longer, they said that I was a thief and a murderer. And they sent out their soldiers to hunt me down. And I laughed. And I said it did not matter. But it was a lie, Guillermo. It was a lie. Because all the while, I wanted to be the one who rode into Mexico City to sit in the presidential palace and be the hunter instead of the hunted. And she knew. And she wanted it for me. Go with him, Carla. Take her, Guillermo.
If they want to arrest you, Mateo, that's one thing. But to kill you, they're going to have to work for it. If fighting was all you ever lived for, here's our chance to die happy.
I can't let you do this for me.
I'm not doing this for you, Mateo. Not anymore.
Mateo, no. No, please. I don't want you to do this thing. Listen, darling, we can make our life again. Please, Mateo, I don't want you to go out there. Please, I don't want you to.
Adios, mi corazón.
Kill me too!
Querida.
You will have many opportunities to die, Vicente. Don't be in a hurry to take this one.
Cindy, no puedo vivir.
Vaya con Dios.
Adiós.
So you found out which man he was, didn't you, Will?
I think I knew all along, Ben.
Strange, huh? Mateo didn't really do anything treasonous. I don't think he could be convicted.
He found himself guilty in his own mind. That's all that's important to him. Well, I better be getting to bed. I'll be leaving early in the morning. Good night, Ben.
Wait a minute. What do you mean, leaving?
Well, I can't stay here now.
Why not? I mean, where would you go?
Well, I figure on making Shoshone Falls by tomorrow night. I bet the boys could use another hand.
You're not figuring all about that cattle drive.
Ben, I was only gone a short while, but while I was gone, I got a strange feeling for the Ponderosa.
Would you say it was sort of a Hunger?
Yeah.
Good hunger. Hmm? Glad you got it. See you in the morning.
Good night, Ben.
Bye.
Do you realize that the stage is almost 2 hours late?
I do?
Well,
Well, what?
why is the stage late?
I wouldn't rightly know, Mrs. Gable. All I know is the stage left St. Louis on time.
Stupid man, he doesn't know anything. I only hope the stage gets here in time for the concert tomorrow night.
I knew it. I just knew it. Now, I'm not one to say I told you so, Sarah. But it was a mistake to count on a singer that nobody's ever heard of, much less seen.
You're just offended, Minnie, because you're not singing at the concert. But I think it's high time that we brought real culture to Virginia City.
Minnie may be right, Sarah. For all we know, Thomas Bowers may be just a nobody.
A nobody? Have you forgotten that letter from the Lyceum Bureau in Chicago? Why, he's compared to Count Mario, the greatest living Italian opera singer. Well, they even call him the American Mario. Do you call that a nobody? Oh, there's Hoss Cartwright. I've got to talk to him. Oh, Mr. Cartwright.
Morning, Miss Gable.
I hope your father hasn't forgotten his promise to make the collection speech at the concert tomorrow night.
No, ma'am. He sure ain't. He's got that thing memorized backwards and forwards. He's been practicing it for a week. Ma'am, that's sure a fine thing you ladies are doing, the benefit for the Paiutes. They're certainly going to need that help after the winter they've just gone through.
Oh, yes, those poor, unfortunate people. But I think that's the least we can do for our red brethren, don't you?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Stage coming.
What happened to you?
Plenty. We crossed the river, the ropes broke, and we lost all the luggage. Then later on, we lost a wheel.
All the luggage?
Yep.
Mr. Bowers, I'm Mrs. Gable, president of the Virginia City...
No, ma'am. My name is Simpson. Charlie Simpson, in Ladies' Novelties. Oh, I had some lovely items to show you, fair ladies. But thanks to that fool driver, all my merchandise is now at the bottom of the river.
I thought you were the famous singer, Thomas Bowers.
No, ma'am.
I'm Thomas Bowers.
Oh. You're Thomas Bowers?
I am, madam.
Oh, but you can't be. I mean, surely there's some mistake.
Mr. Bowers must be exhausted from his harrowing trip, Sarah. Now, aren't you going to take Mr. Bowers to your house to freshen up?
You know I have no guest room in my house. There's a hotel up the street. I'm sure you'll find accommodations there.
do everything we can to get your lost luggage back for you. Well, we'll send some men out first thing in the morning. We'll even drag the river if necessary. Now, you can't ask for more than that, can you?
Yeah, you shouldn't have lost them in the first place.
Right.
Excuse me. Can you tell me when the next stage leaves?
Well, that would be the one you were on. Take a day to clean it up, put a new wheel on. Let's see, day after tomorrow, that'll be Monday.
You mean there's nothing sooner?
Sooner? You're not thinking on leaving before the concert, are you?
I have a feeling there's not going to be any concert. Thank you. Pardon me?
Yes?
My name is Thomas Bowers. I'd like a room, please.
Beg your pardon?
I said I'd like a room, please.
I'm sorry, we're all filled up.
I see. Thank you very much.
Pleasure is all mine. Yes, sir?
Yes, I'd like a nice large room. With a bath, if you have one.
Yes, indeed, sir. I can give you a room with a bath on the same floor. How will that be?
That'll suit me fine.
Will you please sign here, sir?
But, Mrs. Gable, the next issue of the Enterprise doesn't come out till Monday. That's 2 days after the concert is scheduled to be held.
Oh, my, I forgot about that.
But you still haven't told me why you want to cancel the concert.
Well, isn't that rather obvious? How am I ever going to explain to the ladies of the Virginia City Culture Society that I hadn't known that Thomas Bowers was a...
A Negro?
Well, that's not exactly what I meant.
Isn't it, Mrs. Gable? What did you mean?
Oh, Mr. Walker, it's all so embarrassing.
Oh, it shouldn't be. But if you cancel the concert, it will be. For all of us.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, Mrs. Gable, as a self-appointed leader of cultural activities in Virginia City, you should have known all about Thomas Bowers. He's quite famous, you know. He's given concerts all over Europe. Now, it seems to me that if the color of his skin didn't bother Queen Victoria, it shouldn't bother the fair ladies of Virginia City.
Queen Victoria? Why, Mr. Walker, are you trying to tell me that Thomas Bowers sang for the Queen?
Why not? He's considered to have one of the greatest voices in America. I understand the Queen was very pleased.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. You're a most persuasive man.
And then he gets off of the stage and says, "I'm Thomas Bowers." You should have seen Mrs. Gable's face. Looked like she was going to take a fit right then and there. Speak of the devil.
May I have some ham and eggs, please?
And you've got money?
Why, yes, of course.
Yes, of course. Well, that's too bad, because we're all out of food.
Then perhaps I might have a glass of water.
We're all out of water, too. You want a glass of water, boy? There's a horse trough right out in front.
Let him go. Let me have him. Take it easy. I don't think you fellas won't play around anymore. Do you, boys? Come on, let's go outside. You need to cool off. Come on.
Thank you very much. I guess I wouldn't have stood much of a chance against their odds if you hadn't stepped in.
I don't know. You look to me like you can handle yourself pretty good. I wouldn't have figured a singer could hit like that.
Well, I guess I was so infuriated I didn't know what was happening. But thank you very much, Mr.
Cartwright. Hoss Cartwright.
Mr. Cartwright? I wonder if you could tell me whether there's another restaurant in this town.
Yeah, there's one over there in the hotel. Pretty good food.
No, I'm afraid I wouldn't be welcome there. They've already refused me lodging. Said they were all filled up.
Filled up. We'll find out. There's Jed. He works over there. Hey, Jed. Jed, you got a minute?
Hello, Mr. Cartwright.
Howdy, Jed. Is that true the hotel's full?
I wouldn't know about that, Mr. Cartwright. I gotta go. My lunch is waiting. I'm sorry.
Well, I guess that answers your question.
Don't you worry none, Mr. Bowers. We'll get you something to eat.
But please don't go back to the hotel, Mr. Bowers. There'll only be trouble. Now, if you're hungry, you're welcome to come eat at my place. Oh, yes, more than enough if that's what you're thinking. And my daughter's a mighty fine cook.
Well, thank you very much, but I don't want to intrude.
Oh, no, not at all, not at all.
Well, thank you, Mr. Cartwright. And I'm certainly glad you were on my side.
My pleasure, Mr. Bowers. I'll be looking forward to hearing you sing.
I'll be here next time. I'll fix him. I'll fix him good and proper. Sure you will. You don't think he's gonna get away with that, do you? I'll teach him his place. He ain't nothing but a smart, loud mouth.
Look, Sam, simmer down, will you? And give me another steak, will you? That one's cool.
Well, that stuff still isn't gonna get started in this town. You wait and see. I'll fix him. I'll fix him, but good.
Carrie.
Pa, what took you so long? Oh,
Mr. Bowers, this is my daughter, Caroline.
How do you do, Miss Caroline?
Bowers? Are you Thomas Bowers, the famous singer that everybody's talking about?
Well, I don't know about the famous part of it.
Oh, but you are. You see, I know all about you.
You can talk later, Carrie. Mr. Bowers is hungry.
How was your trip from St. Louis, Mr. Bowers?
Say, you do know a great deal about me.
A few weeks back, I served at a party at Mrs. Gable's. She's the president of...
Yes, I've met the lady.
Oh. Mr. Bowers, can you really sing in Italian?
Caroline, if you don't stop talking and give us something to eat, Mr. Bowers, he ain't gonna be able to sing in any language.
Run, boy, run!
Is Sheriff Coffee in here?
You got eyes. You see him any place?
The sign on his door said he was out to lunch. I thought he'd be here. I got an important telegram for him.
Oh? Well, let's have a look at it, boy.
Oh, no, sir. I can't do that. It's official business.
Now, if it's official business, the sheriff is duty-bound not to keep it private. You know that. Sheriff, Virginia City. Be on alert for runaway slave. Believed headed Nevada Territory. About 35. Tall, powerfully built, well-spoken. Can be dangerous when aroused. Wanted for murder of overseer. Reward $1,000. G. Williams, Chief of Police, St. Louis, Missouri. Fits your friend pretty close, don't it, Cartwright?
Yep. I reckon it could fit a lot of people.
Yeah. Can it? How many fancy talking runaway slaves you seen around here lately? About his age, about the same height as this one.
How come this wire was sent right here to Virginia City?
More than likely, a general notice is sent to all the sheriffs and marshals throughout the whole West.
Now listen to him. Let's go get the black boy.
Sam, wait a minute. Look, why don't you wait for the sheriff? Huh?
What for? Let's just go give him $1,000 worth of help. Come on.
Look, buddy, you get that back over to the sheriff's office, you hear? Tell him what happened. Wait there for him.
Hello, Mr. Cartwright.
Excuse me, ma'am. Mr. Bowers, Sam Kiley and a bunch of the boys are looking for you.
For me? For what?
Well, they got this police bulletin this morning describing a runaway slave that is wanted for murder.
Well, what's it got to do with Mr. Bowers?
Well, ma'am, the way it read, it could have been him. The description and all, the same general size and general build, and it said that he was well-spoken. And it said that he could be dangerous when he's aroused.
They don't know he's here, do they?
Not yet, they don't.
He's no runaway slave.
Ma'am, they sure want to think he is. Besides, we ain't got time to sit around here talking now. I got my rig outside. Come on.
Where'd you plan to take me?
To the Ponderosa, to my home.
It's all right. You can trust the Cartwrights. They're good people.
No. Mr. Bowers hasn't done anything.
Look, ma'am, they ain't gonna stick around here asking no questions once they find him. They're gonna put together a lynch mob that quick, especially after what he done this morning.
Lynch mob?
Now, listen, there's no point in you dear people getting involved in my trouble. Thank you very much for your kindness, and I do hope we meet again soon.
Mr. Bauer. You're not a runaway slave, are you?
And if I were?
Come on.
You got a black man named Thomas Bowers here?
In this hotel? You can't be serious. He tried to get a room here, but I sent him on his way in a hurry.
If it'll be of any help to you, gentlemen, I saw him going down the street just a little while ago with another colored man.
That must be Jed. He's the only other one in town.
Jed. He works here, don't he?
Well, yes, he sweeps up around here.
Where does he live?
Well, I've never actually been to his house.
Just tell me where he lives.
Well, he lives on the edge of town, just past the blacksmith. The people one has to put up with in this town, I tell you.
Now, where is he?
Let him alone.
Somebody shut her up.
Do it anymore, please.
Ow! Pa, don't tell Pa.
Look, you got about 1 second left before I drive this right through your...
All right, I'll tell you. Horse Cartwright came in.
Well, come on, spit it out.
They went to the Ponderosa.
Ponderosa. Ponderosa. Let's go. Now, you tell anybody where we're going, it'll be the last talking you ever do. Do you understand that, Jed?
Don't you tell nobody. Not a soul. Hear me, Carrie? Carrie, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Pa. I've been listening to you for 18 years. Mind your tongue, Carrie. Pick up after them. Know your place.
Try to be like white folks. Only bring sorrow and hurt to others. You saw that today, girl.
What I saw today was a man. Even if he is a runaway, he's still nobody's slave. But you are, Pa.
Are you losing your mind, girl? I don't belong to nobody. I'm free.
Stop fooling yourself, Pa. You ain't free. You're just a poor, scared flunky. I'm sorry, Pa. Oh, I'm sorry. Pa.
Why are we stopping?
Oh, this dang old team's been dragging the last couple of miles. If I don't stop and let them rest a while, we ain't gonna never make it. And My load shifted on me. Get him pulled back over in the line. Didn't spend too much time, though. I'm sure Sam, Kylie, the boys have figured out you're with me by now.
Don't worry, I don't carry a gun. I think that since you're risking such a great deal on a total stranger, you ought to have a look at this.
I don't need no more proof.
Read it, please.
Mrs. Amos Gable, Virginia City, Nevada. Dear Madam, this will introduce Thomas Bowers, who has graciously consented to fill the guest spot at your benefit concert. Best wishes for a successful concert. Respectfully, Arthur O'Neill, Manager, Lyceum Bureau, Chicago, Illinois.
Well, does that make you feel a little better?
How come you didn't show that to Miss Gable?
She took one look at me, and she was in an awful hurry to go in the opposite direction.
Yep, you look tired. You'll be at the house soon, and you can relax.
I'd appreciate that. I haven't had a good night's sleep since we left St. Louis.
Get up.
Hi, Johnny.
Hi, Sheriff.
Where Sam and his boys off in such a hurry?
I reckon they're after the runaway slave.
Runaway slave? What are you talking about, boy?
They tell you about it in this.
Here? Well, how'd Sam know about this? Did you show it to him?
I couldn't help it. I was looking for you, and they grabbed it away from me.
Well, all right. What's done is done. I sure would like to know where them hotheads are off to. Give me that thing.
Sheriff.
Yeah?
Jed, what in the world happened? You been in a fight?
Yeah. They made me tell them where horses take, Mr. Bowers. I didn't want it, so they...
Who in the world did that to you?
Sam Kiley and the others. I don't care if he hurts me as he said he would. I just ain't gonna let him get Mr. Bowers.
Now, don't worry about that. I won't let that happen. But where was they heading?
The Ponderosa. They're after them, Mr. Coffey. If they catch up with them, they'll hurt him real bad.
Thank you. You done the right thing, Jed.
Yeah. Maybe it's about time I did. Oh.
Oh, this is Mr. Thomas Bowers, a famous singer.
Bowers, welcome to the Ponderosa.
These are my brothers, Little Joe and Adam.
How are you?
Mr. Bowers had sort of a rough time on the stage, and he needs some rest pretty bad, Paul.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, we'll try to make it comfortable. Joe, I'd like to show Mr. Bowers to the guest room.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
It couldn't just be that he had trouble getting accommodations in town.
Yeah.
That figures.
But that ain't why I brought him here. Fact is that Sam Kiley and a bunch of the boys are after him. They're on their way out here right now.
What? After him? What for?
Oh, they think he's some sort of a dangerous runaway slave or something. But he ain't, and I know he ain't.
Oh, well, I wish I had your faith in human nature. Ever stop to think what could happen to Pa if Bowers is that runaway slave?
Well, we can take care of Kiley.
That's not what I mean. You've heard of the Dred Scott decision.
No.
Yes, it was just handed down by the Supreme Court. A slave, even in free territory, is still the property of his master. Therefore, an escaped slave is a fugitive from justice. And anyone who offers him sanctuary is an accessory to the crime.
What kind of dang law is that?
I know, but nevertheless, it's the law, the new law of the land. Pa could go to prison if Bowers is the runaway slave.
Runaway slave with a man I just brought upstairs?
No. There was a warrant for the arrest of a runaway slave in town, and Sam Kiley and a bunch of the town loafers got it in their head that Mr. Bowers was that runaway slave.
House thinks that they're on their way out here.
What do they think they're going to do? Take him by force?
Of course not. Bowers will stay right here until there's positive proof of his identity. A man is innocent till he's proven guilty. That's also a law of the land.
Do you think you can convince Kylie of that? Here he comes.
Ooh.
Howdy, Sam. Anything we can do for you?
No, Ben. Something we're going to do for you. We're going to take that black off your hands. Take him back to the sheriff.
Well, if you're referring to Mr. Bowers, I'm afraid you've come out here for nothing.
Look, Ben, you're a law-abiding man. You wouldn't be protecting any runaway slave, would you? Or maybe Hoss didn't tell you who it was that he brung out here this morning.
Well, Sam, whatever Hoss did or did not tell me is none of your business.
It is my business, Ben, if he's a runaway slave.
No, it isn't. And even if he were, you still come out here for nothing. It just so happens that the man inside is Thomas Bowers, the world-famous singer.
You can't prove that.
Well, I don't have to. Sam, why don't you and your boys just get along? Whatever has to be done, we'll discuss with the sheriff first.
I'm warning you, Cartwright. If you don't hand him over...
If we don't, what are you going to do about it?
Oh, hold on, Sam. You said there wasn't going to be no fighting.
Don't you worry, Luke. There ain't going to be no fighting. Sam, just what do you think you're doing out here?
Well, I'm only trying to be a good citizen, Sheriff. I'm trying to protect all of us from that runaway murderer they got in there. We tried to kill me this morning with his bare hands.
Yeah. I don't reckon he cared too much for all that fine food you served him, Sam.
We just came out here to escort your prisoner back to town for you, Sheriff.
Sam, you ain't my deputy, you know that. But maybe you forgot when you read that wire addressed to me mentioning about that reward money. Now, you boys better get back to town right now.
Come on, fellas.
Ben, I got to talk to you about all this.
Well, go ahead, Roy.
Where's Bowers at?
Inside, resting.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to take him into custody.
Now, how come, Roy? You ain't got no proof that he's that slave.
Not yet, no. But I saw him in town this morning, and from the description in that wire, I can't say for sure that he ain't the slave, and neither can you.
Now, what does that mean?
Bowers come here from St. Louis, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah. Well, so did the slave. Now, ain't it just possible that he could have bushwhacked, even killed Bowers, and took everything he had on him, including that letter, and posing as Bowers, wearing Bowers' clothes, got on that stagecoach for Virginia City? In that case, Ben, you'd be harboring a murderer and an imposter.
Now, hold on a minute, Roy. There's a very easy way to settle it. Let's ask Mr. Bowers to sing something. He's a singer.
Well, I don't see what that'd prove. Most of them slaves can sing.
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't be proof positive. I guess we have no choice, Hoss. Joe would ask Mr. Bowers to come on.
Right. I'll go with it.
Wait a minute now, wait a minute. Paul, you said that the law of the land was that a man is innocent until proven guilty, right?
Yes, I did.
So what's the big hurry in taking him into jail, Roy?
Hoss, it don't make no difference whether he's guilty or whether he ain't. At this stage of the game, I've got to take him into custody for the protection of, well, the people in Virginia City, you Cartwrights, and the fella inside if he's really Thomas Bowers.
Hey, Pa! Bowers is nowhere in the house. He's gone.
Can't be.
Hold it, mister. You ain't going nowhere. I'm taking you into custody.
He's doing it for your good, Mr. Bowers.
Oh, is he?
Now, look, I've been trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. But if you ain't that slave, what are you trying to run off for?
Because I've had enough of Virginia City fair play, and because I think I'm the best judge of what's good for me.
I can't go along with that. Now, I can stop a man like Sam Kiley from doing something out in the open. But I can't stop him from sneaking around in private, getting people all stirred up. You understand?
He's right. He's absolutely right. There's no telling how far a man like Sam Kiley will try to go.
Yes, I know. Well, I suppose I don't really have any choice in this matter, do I?
Not till I get positive identification. Now, as soon as I get back to town, I'll wire St. Louis for pictures and further information. But that's going to take a few days. Meanwhile, you better come along with me.
It's your move, Horse.
You moved there, right?
You don't seem to have your mind on the game.
You got another visitor. From what I hear about her cooking, she's going to be more than welcome.
You'd be more than welcome with or without cooking. How do you do, Miss Caroline?
There's enough here for you, too, Mr. Cartwright. Have some.
Well, thank you, ma'am. I might just do that.
Oh, this is wonderful, wonderful. You will stay and have some with us, won't you?
No, I have to get home to Pa. He's waiting for his lunch, too.
Oh, yes, I heard what happened to your father. I'm very sorry.
Oh, Pa's fine. Better than ever.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Still, I can't help but feel that if I hadn't come here, all of this wouldn't have happened.
If you hadn't come here, Mr. Bowers, Pa may never have faced something very important. I hope you enjoy your lunch.
Oh, we will. Thank you very much.
Bye, Miss Smith.
I'll be back later to pick up the dishes, Sheriff.
Any old time, Miss Caroline.
Hello, Miss Gable.
Oh, this is just too much, Sheriff. It's too dreadful. I've just heard the news about Mr. Bowers, or whoever the man is. With all those tickets sold and people coming from miles around to hear the great opera singer. Oh, what shall I do?
Well, you can always get a substitute. Now, Minnie Watkins has just been chomping at the bit to sing.
No, that's impossible. I've already turned her down once, and I won't humiliate myself by asking her now.
Well, that's up to you. All I know is that Bowers won't be able to make it.
Bowers. From the very first, I was against having that man sing.
You were?
Of course. Only I let Mr. Walker talk me out of canceling the concert. How will I ever explain to the audience that the great opera singer that I've been advertising all over town is nothing but a runaway slave wanted by the police?
Now, Mrs. Gable, I'm afraid you got your facts confused. Now, Mr. Bowers and the runaway slave are two distinct personages. It's just that we ain't sure which one we got in the jail cell there.
Well, what's the difference? You and I both know they're all alike.
Never mind, Horse. I've heard that kind of talk before. Many, many times.
Yeah. I reckon if one heard it enough, he'd finally get used to it.
No, you never get used to it.
Oh, I do hope there won't be a hitch. Oh, I wonder how they'll take my announcement that you're going to sing.
Well, look who's here.
Well, look at that. Walking right in here as though they're as good as other folks. Got a lot of gall coming in here. Jed, you got a short memory.
You don't frighten me anymore, Mr. Kiley. Maybe you can still hurt me. But you don't frighten me anymore.
Maybe we'll see about that some other time, Jed.
I am a man of peace. But I ain't running away anymore.
Excuse me. Carolyn, Jed, a couple of seats for you.
Thank you, Mr. Cartwright.
It's a free country, ain't it? Those Cartwrights think they own the whole town. Did you see that?
Hey, pipe down, Sam. The fun's beginning.
Ladies and gentlemen, I regret to tell you that, due to unavoidable circumstances, our famous guest star, Thomas Bowers, will not appear tonight.
Mrs. Gable, why don't you tell him why he's not going to be here? Because we're being cheated. There ain't no Thomas Bowers. There's just that runaway slave over there in the jail. And you can thank me that he's over there, not free to run around and kill somebody.
Yeah, we want our money back. We want our money back.
Quiet, please, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please be quiet? Please. And let's not forget why we're holding this concert. It's for a worthy cause, so that we can buy food and medicine and supplies for an Indian tribe that needs your help, and they need your help this year very badly. You know that.
Thank you, Mr. Cartwright. As I was saying, before I was so rudely interrupted, Miss Minnie Watkins has graciously consented to stand in for Mr. Bowers and furnish us with several of her delightful selections. But first, our esteemed pianist, Simon Reed, will open our concert with the Turkish Rondo by Wolfgang Mozart.
Where's the sheriff?
Probably in his office.
Oh, I didn't look there. I thought everybody was going to be here. I got this message here for him about that runaway slave.
Come on, let's go.
Sheriff Roy Coffey, Virginia City, Nevada. In your inquiry, runaway slave Hezekiah Randolph. Latest report confirms he is not in your territory. Last seen heading for Canadian border. G. Williams, Chief of Police, St. Louis, Missouri.
What'd I tell you?
Well, don't just stand there gaping, boy. Get over to Mrs. Gable at the concert hall and tell her Mr. Bowers will sing.
Yes, sir. Right away.
Bowers, we got some good news for you. You're free.
I heard. Yes, sir, just in time for you to get over to the concert for your first song.
I don't intend to do any singing here.
What?
Try and put yourself in my place, Mr. Cartwright. Try and imagine yourself being hated, despised for no reason whatever. From the moment I stepped off the stage into this town, I've been treated like something subhuman. An animal. How could you ask me to sing for people like this?
Mr. Bowers, a man, a sensitive man like yourself, surely realizes that the Sam Kileys of this world must find someone they can belittle, someone they can make feel subhuman, in order to somehow make themselves feel more important, superior.
I'm not worried about the Sam Kileys and that kind. I made up my mind a long time ago not to have anything to do with them.
But, Tom, what about all the other folks? I mean, that hall over there is packed plumb full of folks that came just to hear you sing.
Don't fool yourself. They came to see a freak, a black man that sings Italian opera. That's better than a dancing bear.
I guess I'd better get over to the concert hall and tell them you won't be singing.
I'd appreciate that. I'm sorry to let you down, Horse.
Don't worry about that, Tom. You know, it's sort of funny. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's like, well, it's sort of like you ain't acting no different from that Miss Gable. I know you're angry. I can understand that. Good Lord only knows you got plenty of reason to be. But, Tom, supposing the whole town was against you. Now, are you going to change anything or make anything better by running out? You know, I sort of had you figured for a braver man than that, Tom. Look here. There's some folks that's going to always be on your side. Then, of course, there's always going to be a few that ain't never going to be. And we both know that, don't we? But what about all them other folks that ain't made up their minds yet? And that hall over there is packed plumb full of folks just waiting to make up their minds. Are you going to pass up this opportunity by running out on them, too?
Appear to be all my love, my sight, my light, all my life, so beautiful that my heart anxiously is waiting. That beauty wounded and made me fall in love. It will ne'er be erased from my heart. The thought that my heart the thought that our heart
Il pensier di poter palpitar l'ai dai d'amor. Io sospir il matir che m'affanna e strazia il cor, e strazia il cor. Bella sì che il mio cor di dolor mordì, sì morrò.
Hey, Sam, I bet you never thought you'd get knocked flat by one of them opera singers, huh?
You got a big mouth. You know that?
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You've been very kind.
Sing us another one, Mr. Bowers.
I'd be very happy to. From the works of the distinguished composer of Italian opera, Rossini, I'd like to sing the La Calunnia aria from the Barber of Seville. La Calunnia è un venticello, una reta assai gentile, che sensibile e sottile, leggermente, dolcemente, incomincia a sussurrar. Dalla bocca fuori uscendo, lo schiumazzo va crescendo, prende forza da poco a poco, vola già di loco in loco, sembra e tuono la tempesta che nel sen della foresta va fischiando, frantullando e ti fa d'orrore.
congelar. Alla fin turboca in scoppio si propaga, si raddoppia e produce un'esplosione. Come un colpo di cannone, come un colpo di cannone. Un tremoto temporale, un tremoto temporale, un tremoto temporale che fa l'aria rimbombar. Un tremoto temporale, un tremoto temporale, un tremoto temporale che fa l'aria rimbombar. Il meschino calunniato, avvilito, calpestato, sotto il pubblico flagello per gran sorte va crepare. Il meschino calunniato, avvilito, calpestato, sotto il pubblico flagello per gran sorte va crepar. Sotto il pubblico flagello per gran sorte va crepar. Sotto il pubblico flagello per gran sorte va crepar. Si va crepar, si va crepar, si va
বাড়ির কাছে ভরা নদী শেষে জোয়ার, জোয়ার ভাটা শেষ হলে শুকনো বালুর চর। বাড়ির কাছে ভরা নদী শেষে জোয়ার, জোয়ার ভাটা শেষ হলে শুকনো বালুর চর। ঢেউয়ের তালে তুলতে চলে আমার নাই চার, চল নৌকা ডুবি, চল নৌকা ডুবি খেলবো খেলা আজ দুজনায়। চল নৌকা ডুবি, চল নৌকা ডুবি খেলবো খেলা আজ দুজনায়। ফাগুন মাসের আগুন জ্বলা ভরা বসন্ত, ঘুমিয়ে থাকা মনটা আমার বড়ই অশান্ত। ফাগুন মাসের আগুন জ্বলা ভরা বসন্ত,